It's been a long one, and I need someone so I pull up and
wash away the toxicity.
With no brush on, and yeah, the candles moving, and yeah, the candles moving, and it's time for you to join the club. Here we go again. Critically drinking, stay thirsty, my friend. Burning love and hoping never. If it
Hustle
does,
culture. Hustle and grind culture is another version of it. I can sleep when I'm dead. You'll be dead.
it's showtime. Come in and have a drink with the whole crew. Come on then, join the panel or chill from the chat. Do it how you wanna do. The misfit thoughts keep the whole chat lit. Ooh, and soon you'll be a part of it too. So come back again, my friend, or we'll come find you. Here we go again.
What's up?
Critically drinking, stay thirsty, my friend. Burning love and hoping never. If it does, oh, we'll be back again. Now let's make one thing clear. Because of you is why we're here. You give us life, you give us love. That is why we want you get to our heart. Come and join the show, 'cause we need you to grow. So pull up a chair and share with us all of the things you know. Here we go again. Critically drinking, stay thirsty, my friend. Burning love and hoping never. If it does, oh, we'll come back again.
And like the song say, hey, don't. I will come find you. Easy way. Or the hard way.
Amazing.
I got my own platform. If I got something to say, I hit my live button, ho.
Hey, my bad. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Critically Drinking. I'm a little early. Just wanted to pre-game. I see somebody's already backstage, or I must have the thing on the wrong thing. Let me see. Bam! There we go. What's up, Yellow? How you feeling, my guy?
What's good? What's good? What's up, y'all?
Now we got Nova in the building. We got Quantum. We got Ine. We got Nova. We got Nova. I'm quit. Damn, approaching 200, and it's probably where it's about to stop. That's probably where it's about to stop. Anyway, let me not go into that. Bree, what up, Bree? Yep, a little coffee. That's what's going on. I see. All right. We in good. Look like we in good spirits today. Looks like we are in good spirits. I just want to get started a little early because I was antsy. Got a little extra energy today, so I am here. Cause I was ready to snap. So I'm just trying to do something productive with that energy. You know, I'm here. I'm present. I is impotent. I was kind. I was impotent. Whatever Yellow be saying, I don't even know how the rest
You
of
was
go.
kind. You was kind. You was smart. You was important.
Yes, I am. So we're gonna just pregame a little bit, just kick it with y'all for a minute, man. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week? Today is Thursday. I'm here, but I'm going back to hear the intro song. Yeah, man, I needed to hear that myself. It's been a minute. Princess K, man, thank you. Shout out to Princess K. Ain't seen her around in a minute, but thank her for her service, as of course. But how's everybody's day? How y'all doing? Yellow, I know Yellow just had a stream. Man, that was cool. I know we was trying to get the game working. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't happening.
But the reaction was cool, man. The reaction was fun. I enjoyed that. Some catharsis.
Man. Some folks need to hear that. But you know. It is. It is what it is, though, man.
Yeah. Yep. But man, I am here today. I know when I started a little early. My nephew will not be here today. He forgot that he was doing this today. He's still been having residual issues from COVID, brain fog, and all that stuff. So and he's young. I attribute it to youth. He be wanting to be outside, which I'm not mad at. He's an outsider. I'm an insider. Nothing wrong with that. Mandrill, I gave him the time at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. We'll see if he shows up at that time. There's no way to know. No way to know. But I just wanted to pop up early, man, because I was just sitting there chilling, and I was like, I'm tired of waiting. So, we'll kick it, man. See how y'all are. Nobody said how they were. I'm assuming y'all just don't want to talk about it. It's that bad. Y'all just don't want to talk about it. Or it's so amazing that you don't want to make me feel bad in comparison. Which, either way, I respect it. Mandra operates on Laotian time? It's definitely that bad. Got you. Now listen, you're on summer vacation or at least a break. I don't know how your day could be that bad. Your mama was around for Mother's Day. I mean, life should be great for you. Life should be wonderful. Like skipping off lily pads. Like you should be feeling so amazing.
Yeah, well, see, that's the results of when you give somebody everything they want. They gonna find something to be miserable about.
You know what I'm saying? Can't give them everything. You got to keep a project before the people. Something I heard from the church one time. Let me see. Doing great. Took a nap, finishing a workout, and I bought Disney on Ice tickets. Yay. Okay. Bree is in her happy place. Disney, anything Disney related. I just didn't want to make you jealous of my glory. Definitely understandable, and I appreciate your consideration. But thank you. Now, we got about 20 minutes. Hopefully my little desk fan is not too loud. That little buzzing sound. Hopefully, I don't know how that's picking up because I can't hear it through what you guys are hearing. So I want to talk about something that I saw that was sent to me. Oh, and you don't say your girlfriend was in town. My girlfriend and I woke up and threw up as much as possible to repent for the cheap plastic Bacardi. And your girlfriend's in town too. So in the school semester, saw your mama for Mama's Day, and your girlfriend's in town, and y'all getting plastered together. Man, yeah, you definitely didn't want to make me feel bad. Yep.
First of all, you drinking that motherfucking bat juice, goddammit. That's probably what had your ass woke up and the room was spinning around and shit.
Mm-hmm. You already know. Man, I'm glad you're doing well. Glad Bree is doing well. Hope everybody else is also. Just a quick programming note. I was going to try to get a 12th stream in. I think this is the 10th. I was going to try to get an 11th, or it might be the 11th this month, the 11th stream this month. I was going to try to get a 12th one in on Tuesday. I know Bree may or may not be here, but you know what, guys? My apologies. But I will be probably taking a break. I don't know how long. I just wanted to say, it's been a pleasure. I don't know. I'm not making any. Every time I make a statement, I end up reneging. I am a renegger. So to not be a continual renegger, I don't want to be an unrepentant renegger. I want to be the type of renegger that knows he's a renegger and stops reneging. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to make any grand proclamations, but I do know I do need to take a break. So it's not one of those, I'm burnt out. It's not one of those, I'm burnt out. No, I'm not doing one of those. I'm not doing one of those. I can tell my energy's off. I can tell my interest isn't there. So, do something different. Shake things up.
Fall back and recalibrate.
Yeah. So, yeah, at least I'm self-aware. So, I the rest of May for sure. You probably will not see me, so I can do some other things. I need to get my computer worked on too. Anyway, there's a lot of things I need to do that I neglect under the guise of I need to stream tomorrow. So if I eliminate that, hopefully I'll have more a drive to do the things I need to do. I thought AR snuck into the panel for a second. Breaks are good. Listen, man. There was too many niggers. There was too many niggas from the panel. Yeah. One too many ERs, man. One too many ERs. Yeah, AR with the ER, man, for sure. Sometimes I do miss having that guy around because, man, he was a. I know y'all don't. Me and him got along cool, man. Okay, I'm back.
Some people really shouldn't be around, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
Okay, I'm back. Just watch the way to toxicity. You fucking renigger. Absolutely. I am. I can't help it. That's what I do. So again, June. I can't say. Don't look for me, Argentina. Do not. The truth is, I may not stream for you. I honestly don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But that's where I'm at right now. Keeping y'all abreast. But again, I don't want to make any concrete proclamations because
keeping the breast. Wait a minute. What? Oh, what?
A breast, a thigh, two wings.
I prefer 2 breasts.
I mean, 2 breasts. I mean, they on your stream, I heard. Y'all talking about bras. I heard just talking about bras and tasting. I'm okay. What did I miss?
I mean, hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with a little titty tasting. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a little titty tasting.
That's what's up. I was like, yeah, okay. I came back I had the one phone tabbed up. I came in there and picked it up. I'm like, what did I walk in on?
I mean, you know, just gotta make sure everybody cool. I gotta make sure everybody cool.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. All right. So, man, so what I'm about to do the small talk. I hate small talk, so I ain't even gonna do that.
Please don't. No, please no.
Almost did it and got mad at myself. So what? How about those Knicks? How about
them re-knickers?
Those knickerbockers. Yeah. You giving quality content. You deserve a well-deserved break. Appreciate that. B9 Nizzle in the building, man. Shout out and salute to you. Definitely one of the GOATs that I look up to for inspiration, man. For great quality thoughts, high quality thought. Titty tasting is a Chicago version of wine tasting.
And Nova, look, you still got to put it in your hand and swirl it around, bro. Yeah, you got to put it in your hand and swirl it around. Smell it, get the hints of it. You know what I'm saying? Then you tip it. It tastes slow. You know what I'm saying?
Von Eric, where's your faith? Appreciate you for sure for coming through. I did clip that song that you sent, so definitely appreciate that. I did use that at least once already, so appreciate you.
I like the other intro you had too. Shout out to Sheree. I heard the new intro you got.
Oh yeah, you like this one? Hold up. Give me a second.
Hello and welcome to Critically Drinking, where we strive to set a higher bar for conversation every single stream. Thank you for joining us. Now grab your drink, take your seat, and let us get ready for the show. Rashawn will be with you shortly to let you know what's on tap for the day.
I just wanted to put something together to use it real quick because I didn't really take the time to do anything high quality, but I did want to throw something on that just to get. I mean, you know, I love Chicago wine.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, shout out to Chicago, Sheree B. Chicago. Love it. Yeah, I got some other stuff in there, Von Eric. I'm gonna use this one definitely for Twitch for sure, because there's actual Shots Redemption on Twitch. But man, this one, I know it's in here. Okay, let me get rid of this stuff from the last stream. Give me a second. Bam, I like this one that he sent too.
Shit, shots round the table, celebrations for my label. These are my 4 brothers, ain't no room for no haters, no. I think I need a shot, dog. I got some haters, I really need a shot, dog. I got some haters, Tonight I'm going drinking till my liquor gone. Tonight I'm going drinking till my liquor gone. I think I need a shot, dog. I got some haters, I really need a shot, dog. I got some haters, yeah. Tonight I'm gon' drink it till my liquor gone. Tonight I'm gon' drink it till my liquor gone.
And then because it fades out at the end, I went ahead and use that for our outro one day. This is a little short outro. So appreciate everybody that's been sending and submitting things. And I'm still going to try to be creative and cut stuff up. And for whenever I am streaming, there will be some little creative little quirks. So, you know, that's I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you that spent time around the channel, time on Twitch. Anywhere I've spent time with y'all, I really do honestly appreciate y'all and the conversation that we've had. But man, whew, I know Wednesday I made sure I didn't schedule anything on Wednesday, and it felt so good not to have a schedule. And I was like, ooh, man, that's a problem.
Slippery slope.
Man, I was like, if it felt too good, it felt too good. Like
Slippery slope.
I was like, okay, that's
slippery slope.
Yeah, so we'll see how things shape up. We'll see how things shape up. I'm going to like I said, June, I can't say. But the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to try to force myself not to stream on YouTube. I feel like I owe Twitch because people have been paying over on Twitch for the last 2 months, and I have not been there. So I feel bad. So I'm probably still going to do Twitch on the weekends for at least the rest of the month. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. So, but that's about it for me, man. How are things going with you, man? What's up with the baseball? Can I get you to dial back on the baseball?
Nah, man, it's that time of the year, man. Late spring, baseball season has started. I'm not as trash as I thought I was. Hey, look, I'm getting better though.
Okay.
I'm getting better. I've been putting in the work. I've been focusing. I'm still swinging that bullshit. But I'm gonna get it though. We gonna get called up. The crazy part is I just want to do the part where I get called up, and then I'm probably not gonna play it no more.
And that's what I'm talking about. You're wasting our time, wasting your time. You're gonna get caught up and then quit. Yo, what you know about that cheetah piss?
Man, look, that shit you smell just change your whole face. What is that? I don't even remember what this. I don't know what this is. This shit had a gloss to it. God damn it.
That does not sound good.
Yeah, it is.
What did I miss? What is cheetah piss? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that shit when you open the bag and it smell like a litter box.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't hip to that for sure.
That potency.
All right, that's what's up. Well, I hope everybody has a good rest of their week after this stream. It may not even be a long stream today, but what we're going to be talking about today will be Black fatherlessness. I was watching a clip from Jordan Peterson, and it kind of got me irate. I'm not going to lie. I like Jordan Peterson a lot when he talks about philosophy, psychology, or religion. If he talks about race or transgender, it just irks my soul every single time. I don't even really care too much about the transgender issue. Like, he can feel how he feels. I just think he has stupid takes. Like, a man as smart as he is, as smart as that man is, he's a genius, I'll say. But he gets dumb when he's talking about trans people. He gets certified stupid. And then the same thing with Black people. He gets completely like oblivious. And Bree helped me understand. Like, he has no lived experience with and around Black people. So all of his things are very theoretical. When he talks about Black people, it's very theoretical. And I'm looking at the stats, and just looking at stats does not give you a picture of anybody's life. So that's one thing, and it made sense that the Bree put it in perspective for me. But we're gonna play that clip starting here in a few, and we're gonna work through it. Pause it, play it, talk about it, because they said quite a few things. Some of them true, some of them sort of true, some of them just feel like y'all can't be that dumb. But that's what we're going to do today. Talk about Black fatherlessness, because man, Yella did he reacted to Kendra G earlier, and I think we really need to talk about some of these dudes, because
man,
as much as everybody likes to clown the women, because the women are losing it, like losing their ever loving minds. Sure, but
Absolutely.
for every woman that's losing her ever loving mind, there's at least one guy who's just so low in character that he's taking advantage of that situation. She doesn't know
Yep.
left from right. She's looking for love. He's gonna pretend to love her. He's gonna have sex with her. He's of course not gonna strap up. She's pregnant. He's gonna leave so that she's on Kindred somewhere between month 1 after the child's birth to month 9 after the child's birth, talking about I have an infant and I am on Kindred looking for love. Why aren't you with your baby daddy? Well, he's toxic, or he's abusive, or he's a narcissist, or it's gonna be some kind of crazy mess to excuse why he left or why she left him. One or the other. But every single time. How are so many of these guys walking away, creating families and walking away? And of course, we know there are men that are not choosing to walk away, dads that are being kept from their children. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the dudes who are so irresponsible. Ooh, go ahead, Yellow.
Yeah, the kind of like the example he was giving was we was watching the Kendra G video, and the chick was calling in, and she had a 1-month-old,
Man,
a 1-year-old, and a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 12-year-old. Now, the 3 oldest kids was all got the same daddy, but those 3 are 3 of his 7 kids. 2-month-old, my bad. Yeah, 2-month-old and the 1-year-old, my bad. The oldest 3 are 3 of his 7 kids. The youngest one, the 2-month-old, she's got a different father. She's one of his 7 kids. So between 2 of her baby daddies, they got 14 kids between. And that one middle child, that 1-year-old, ain't no telling how many kids his daddy got. So it's like, man, what is y'all doing out here making these babies?
yeah.
Huh?
And the saddest part was the smartest guy, but again, like I said, low character. The smartest guy was the guy that slept with her when she was 7 months pregnant, because then she couldn't get pregnant.
Oh yeah.
He was the smartest, but again, what are we doing? What are we doing out here, man? It doesn't make any sense.
That's a special type of thirsty.
Man, it's a special type, man. Whatever it is, I know it might be kink or it might be thirst. Whatever it is, I can't condone. It's just weird, man.
7 months pregnant, bro.
Right, 7 months pregnant, and has no intention of being with her. Like, why? He has no intention of being with her. And she still, when she talked about it, she still had that delusion, like, oh, well, there's a possibility that we could get together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, man, get out of here. These people are lost, man.
Man, look, when my son's mom was pregnant, I think we stopped around. I felt the kick around 7 months, and I was like, nah, I can't do it.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
We just gonna have to tough out these last couple of months. For real, I felt the kick, and it was an aggressive kick too. I was like, oh man, nah. Nope. It was good up to then, though. I ain't gonna lie, it was good up to then.
Yeah, but that was your baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was my baby, right? And even still, that was my baby.
That was your baby. OG Patrice in the building. We got Leah in the building. Hello, ladies. Good to see you. Good to see you. We were just chit-chatting for a minute before we start. Part of me is like having a personal wager to see if Mandrell will show up on time. That's a me thing. Because he especially did ask for this when we were on stream. He did that whole, you must not like me. You don't want to do any streams with me. I thought we could do it. Come on, man. Okay, you do that during the stream, try to peg me in. I do a stream, and you don't show up on time, and I put in the text that you better show up on time. Boy, I tell you, I cut off people for less.
Pizza Dude's got 5 minutes.
Man, pizza dude got 4 minutes, or my pizza is free.
Right.
For sure. But it's almost that time, folks. Just again, well, real quick recap, man. We are going to be talking about Black fatherlessness through the lens of this conversation with Jordan Peterson and Dr. Jordan Peterson and this lady named Heather McDonald, who has a very interesting background. So this is from one of her an article that was talking about her. She is known for her pro-police views and opposition to criminal justice reform, as expressed in her book, The War on Cops, and columns such as The Myth of the Racist Cop and The Myth of Systemic Police Racism. McDonald is also the author of When Race Trumps Merit, How the Pursuit of Equity Sacrifices Excellence, Destroys Beauty, and Threatens Lives. So you already know where she's going to come from. But I thought it was an interesting conversation.
I promise you that I'm glad I put that shit out, because what I thought you said is hilarious.
What?
You was like, she wrote a new book about the war on Cox.
I mean, when you read the rest of that bio, I mean, basically that's what she has a war against. Like she is not looking for love in any of the
there's a war on Cox for real.
I mean, if you have these kind of takes, like you must be, because like it's like overly male identified. So she's like super pro cop, and like women, like 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 in the Black community they call it the pick-me's. Like you pick a demographic and you cape for them so hard. Like you really just want to be in that group, but you can't be. Like there's something there. And then you'll hear when we get going, she starts to at one point somebody in the comments said she breaks it's part of an hour and a half long conversation. And at one point somebody in the chat comments from the entire thing. At some point, and I wasn't watching the entire thing, I listened to most of it. They said she was she broke down. Oh, she cares so much, because they were talking about Black people a lot. Oh, she cares. She has so much empathy. Oh, the way she broke down and started crying. You can tell she's so passionate about the Blacks. I mean, that's not what they said, but I'm being silly. But I mean, but she puts on this air of really caring about Black people. But then when you hear a bio like that, it's like, yeah. So yeah, she's the opposite of one of these fake liberals that that sort of care about Black people and minorities. She's just a conservative that I care so much about Black people that I want them to pull their pants up. I need them to pull up themselves by the bootstraps. I need you to work harder, because nobody else in this country is as down bad as you, Blackies. I need you to just care.
If you close your eyes and listen, that sound like a real Karen. And sound like a real Karen.
Yeah.
It sounds like a real Karen.
Wait till you see her, man. Wait till you see her. But we are getting ready to go ahead and get started. Let me take this
pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
So now, here's the wonderful part. Here's the wonderful part. Because I told Mandrell if he shows up late, man, we're going to argue on screen. Because my time is being disrespected. So you have the privilege that if Mandrell does show up, you get to see him get chewed out on stage. We're going to stop whatever we're doing and talk about Mandrell. You're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place, buddy. Wrong place. Absolutely wrong place. It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? This is ridiculous. How could you be typing in the chat and not typing in StreamYard.com? How? Instead of I'm here, should be StreamYard.com. Wrong place. Wrong place. Wrong place. Wrong place, man. Absolute wrong place, man. Mandrell.
You said it's 5 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock, bro. I'm here on time.
Man.
You said 5 o'clock, and I'm here at 5 o'clock.
All
I didn't
right.
know you was going a little earlier than that.
That was
you
pre-game.
said 5 o'clock.
You showed up you showed up right on the nick of time, man.
Right, it's 5 o'clock. I'm here on time.
Even. It's 5 o'clock even. I can't knock you. It's 5 o'clock even. Ooh.
If Mandrell shows up late, I'm not gonna show up late.
All right.
You give me the time.
I gave you the time.
Yeah, and I'm here on the time.
What's up, Inya? There we go. There we go.
On time, and in time. It's two different things. You got it just in time. I don't know about on time.
Man.
I'm on time. I'm on time. It's 5 o'clock, bro.
Right on it. Right on it. You know that one person that shows up exactly as that hand hit. I'm here. That was Mandrill. Woo. What's up, Risa, Neil? All right, man. So, all right, let's get started. Just recap. We're going to be talking about Black fatherlessness. We do have these two men here to share their opinions, their illustrious opinions on this topic. We already got Yellow with the "oh hell no" in his bio.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
it's about to get worse. Go ahead.
All right, shoot. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull this up. I might have to switch this up. And real quick, man, before we get started, shout out to Nova Rain, Danik Anthony, Margaret, my dear sweet mother, and New Growth Old Soul for sponsoring the channel during the month of May. I really appreciate you, gentlemen, and want to thank you. I may end up doing one more stream next week, but again, I'm trying to take a break. I'm trying to force myself into a break because I can tell I need one. JP is in the building. Hello. But I definitely wanted to give you guys thanks and appreciation for supporting the channel and keeping us going this month. But let's pull up Heather McDonald. See, man, Joe shaking his head. No, you don't appreciate those guys?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Nova trip. I do like Nova. JP out there, the aspiring matriarch. You know, big ups to her. Love JP. NA, how you doing? Leah, hello. I don't know who Risa Neal is.
Risa Neal, that's the resident sniper from Let's Talk the Better Black Life. Our brother Clarence, okay. OG Patrice,
that's Brother Clarence?
and Rico. No, that's not Brother Clarence. She's a sniper for the channel.
Okay.
She's the main mod. And if you sneeze at the wrong time and your finger slips on the keys and you accidentally put that like that couple like letters without a vowel sound, you gone. Blocked, timed out. Yeah, gotta find them. You fine. Thank you, Dr. Drill. You got a doctor, okay.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. Thank you very much, Nova.
That's what's up. All right, let's not gonna pull any more delays. Let's see if this fits in the screen.
Extirpate the dysfunctional underclass culture, and that is something that is tearing down Blacks' potential to succeed by embracing this oppositional culture that says that academic effort and achievement is acting white. It glorifies criminality, glorifies conspicuous consumption, misogyny, maximal procreation, having as many children as you can by different baby mamas. If we could get, I would say, an intervention that was maybe focused less on the cognitive matters and more on simply deferring gratification, self-control, the types of issues that Edward Banfield wrote about in the Unheavenly City.
Your face.
That would be the most important thing to focus on, because I'm not sure that efforts to change the cognitive skills gap will be that successful over time. But really, all we ask is people to respect the law and to restrain their impulses.
So, what she said, because they had an entire conversation. Give me a second. They had an entire conversation. They've had an entire conversation at this point talking about the cognitive gap between Black people and everybody else. So what she came to, and you heard her saying that, was, we don't think we'll have any interventions that'll be successful as far as making Black people less stupid. but we can try to socialize them. I'm paraphrasing, but we can try to socialize the blackies. We need to have them stop, shaming, academic achievements. Stop wanting having so much frivolous sex and having so many children. The baby mamas and the baby daddies. The whole, all Bill Cosby. The Bill Cosby lines. She's rerunning the Bill Cosby lines. So what? Off the top, what do you two? I mean, because there's truth in what she said. Like, she's not wrong, but it feels racist. Factually, we do have problems in those areas in our community. But as we're getting started, what do you two gentlemen think?
I mean, about what?
About that, because I know, Mandrell, I know you said you've been kind of bitten by that, being able to speak properly. People say, like, kind of like you're not black enough, like you speak white, you talk white, or people that are kind of like stable, can hold down a job, adequate schooling, you're boring, or there's a lot of that in our culture.
Mm-hmm. There is.
So,
I don't think there's any intervention that's going to help us either. To be honest, it's too far gone, and we've gone in a direction where people aren't completely comfortable, but they're comfortable enough. You know what I mean? Whereas if you can make your own way through life, I think people are okay with that, and have a roof over their head. They're the basic necessities: roof over their heads, clothes over their back, food in their bellies, and indulge in a little recreation and luxuries. I mean, they're fine. So why change anything if I'm fine with my circumstances? But the thing is, it goes in. They say, well, with the black people, baby mamas, there's way more white baby mamas than black baby mamas. Get out of here, bitch. Okay. All the issues she said black people have, way more white people got them same exact problems. In them tornado bait trailer park white trash neighborhoods. Okay. You want to come over here and talk about black people and our issues? You got the same fucking ones, white trash. Okay. You're no different. You're no better. In fact, you're worse because you got all the opportunities and all the chances in this country, in the world, to do better, but you refuse to. You stay in your trailer parks in 2023. At least we got bricks in the housing project. Who got more sense? Who's got more cognitive action going on up here? Okay, our neurons have always been firing quicker than yours. You gave us nothing. We made Thanksgiving dinners. Look at what we did with the peanut. Okay, watch yourself, white people. You ain't that good. Just saying. That's my answer to that. Everything she named, you can find plenty of white people got them same issues. But you want to label it black. And the way she said it, I don't like the way she said either. Black.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking.
Black.
That's what I'm looking. She lost me soon as the blacks. The blacks.
Right.
Man, hold on.
Right.
For the sake of content, I was just
God.
like, I'm gonna let it play because I was definitely gonna be a yellow pause. The blacks.
I said I just did this.
Who asked you? Like, who asked you?
Black.
First of all, look, is there a qualified black person in the room while this conversation is going on that's gonna like be like, hey, all right, white people, slow your motherfucking roll, goddamn it. Less emphasis on the acts. It was that shit came out like that shit came out like it hurt her face to say it.
Right. It just gets my goat when people when white people talk bad
her
about
nose
black
went up and shit. Her face
right
scrunched up. She had bitter beer face and shit when she said the blacks.
It gets my goat. It really does when white people talk down on black people like they don't have the same problem. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the same problem. Like, oh, so many black people are on welfare. Like there's way more white people on welfare than black people. What are you talking about? How is it an issue when we do it? Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like they're doing the same exact stuff, but that like it's a whole nother issue, completely different stratosphere when we do it. Okay, but y'all doing the same thing. Stop playing with me. The cat's out of the bag with that. You're not fooling anybody. Well, you might be fooling some people, but not me. You know, no, I don't agree with this, and I do not support it. Um, this is just white ignorance at its finest. She has clearly not looked into this issue and held it in proper contrast, black people versus white people, or whatever the case may be. You know, her data's wrong, so there goes her, so is her argument.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, man. She's not wrong, but it's the way she contextualizes it. I know it feels terrible to hear that stuff, especially from somebody that's not us, especially somebody that has that much like almost like disdain in their voice, you know, especially the baby mama. So there's something about somebody talking across class.
Baby mamas.
See, this
in
is
the community.
what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying, right? Like, she may not be wrong, but I'm also looking like, ain't nobody asked you. It's like you was
No.
around. You like she's probably around when they had like colored water fountain.
I was going to say,
I don't like where this is stemming from. You know what I'm saying? I don't like where it's coming from, because it ain't coming from a place of I want to see y'all do better. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. It's like hearing a Christian a cappella group version of a rap song that was done by, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like one of them just extra whiteified ass versions of some shit. Like, who? I don't, just like the reverse, like how motherfuckers mad about the Little Mermaid. Like if they came out with the white version of the PJs or some shit like that, or like the white version of Martin, just Martin, but he a white dude. Like this was just, it was disgusting. Just
yeah.
Just fuck if she right. I don't even care if she right. I'm glad this new baby mama developed every day in the black community just because she said it. I hope we get worse just because she said it. Like I'm saying, like I hope we get worse just because she said it. Right, mind your business, lady.
I want to see. This may not play. But you said something that reminded me of something else. Oh, let's see if this will work. Come on, YouTube. Work for me today, baby. Work for me today, baby. Come on now. Work for me today.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick, my crew is big, and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus.
Oh, don't freeze right there. Don't freeze before that part. Oh, you dirty dog. Let me look.
Go. Oh, right.
It's Christ, nigga.
Yeah, you heard it. Yeah.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger, born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger, and he died for your sins. I preach the word, that's my gig, and I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well, but if you live in sin, you burn in hell. Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. Without further ado, take it away.
Stop encouraging this bullshit, Yellow.
Jesus Christ is my nigga.
What?
He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss. And my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag, and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga.
Let his light shine through ya.
Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah.
What is
Jesus Christ is a nigga.
No,
He's a homie MC, JC, you see.
No,
He's
he's
an honest, caring, peace-loving nigga like me.
No, stop.
You
What?
do drugs and you think you're cool. You need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a Christian man.
I don't even want it no more, y'all. I'm done smoking. I'm done. They didn't convince me. Let's go.
Freestyle.
Hit me.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
man.
That did it.
What?
That did
What's-
it.
no.
That did it right there. That
What's
did it, y'all.
what's happening? What's
That-
happening?
Listen,
What's
that
happening?
did it.
What?
I
What
am
is
ready
going-
to turn my life over to Jesus. I am ready to
Absolutely.
accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior.
What is going
Right.
And
on?
y'all spirit has been touched, and y'all soul has been so deeply
Now.
touched. She's crying.
Right
No.
now.
Bree singing
No.
Amazing Grace. Yeah,
Right
I
now.
love it.
Right now.
You know what the
Well,
sad part is? I'm gonna ask you to send me this video because I want to use it in my show. I got
Okay.
people have to see this. I have to-
You ain't never seen that before?
unfortunately,
Oh,
I have, but
man.
it's been years, dude. I don't.
Yeah.
I've seen it before, and I never wanted to watch it. I was like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to see this ever again in life. But
I'm
here's
with
our
you.
Sean. Leave it to our Sean, Yella. It's just,
Hey,
hey,
well,
man, do you
Yella-
remember this?
when Yella said something about the
I was trying not to. Really,
singing a
Sean.
rap song, when Yella said something about the rap song, I was like, oh, yeah, Jesus is my nigga. Yeah. Hood classic. Brian Leah, as a former brew, I can attest to this. Now listen. I had to bring that in because that's what Heather McDonald was giving me, that kind of energy. It was funny when Yella said something about the water. I was like, her words came out like a broken water fountain. Like when it came out of her mouth, it was like it broken black only faucet water was coming out with like a lot of rust. I was like, ugh, I don't like the way that. I don't like that.
Arshawn, what's
That's
your
fine.
question?
I don't have a question on that. I was just playing that because Yella.
Really? You got nothing after that. Right? So that's
I mean, no,
there's no reason. For
you
you to
talking about
play
on the
that
song?
Pull the
video.
video. Yeah, I'll just pull the
I
video
ain't
back
talking
up.
about- no,
That
it's
video.
just
Jordan Peterson.
it's a Stone Cold Groove. It's a Stone Cold Groove, my nigga. Shit.
Absolutely.
So there was no
man.
reason, no practical reason for you to show that video. You just, hey, check this out.
The energy
Mhm.
felt the same. It was, let's save the blacks, and Jesus is
Right.
my nigga. It felt like the same energy.
Yeah. How can I possibly relate to the black people and be white at the same time? I need to remember-
Not by saying nigga.
I mean, they convinced me.
I mean, I'm in.
Hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways, Yellow. He has
Hey.
wonders to perform.
Miracles never cease.
Mm.
Well, let's bring Jordan Peterson in. He's about to follow up Heather McDonald's comments about, you can't help the blacks' cognitive gap. You can't help that. So we need to do more socialization. So Jordan Peterson is about to respond when I bring this video back in.
Oh, he's
As you
responding to that?
pointed out, the data for
You said what?
He's responding to what she just said.
Yeah, he's about to say something. They're about this part of a conversation.
Hell
Yeah, that was more to it. No, that wasn't the end of the conversation today. No, that
Oh,
was,
so we could have.
hell no.
Oh,
I thought
you
that
made
was
it-
something completely different. I know they were talking to each other.
Right. And
Yeah.
this makes it worse,
hell
Arshawn.
no.
This
All right, let's go.
makes it so much worse. So that means wait, Yella,
Right.
this means he really did throw that video in for no reason.
No,
it was
it's
for no
okay.
reason.
What?
It's okay.
What's happening?
I appreciate it. Because
What's happening?
I've had my share of misogyny.
Can you play it for
I've
me?
had my
What
share
is
of
going
misogyny.
on? What
I've
is
had
going
my share of
on?
misandry. I definitely ain't had I ain't flex my racist muzzle in a minute. Let's do it. Come on. I ain't drag fuck whitey in a minute. Let's go.
All right, now real quick. Hello, N, and hello, Greg Bryant. Did you want me to play the Jordan Peterson, Heather McDonald clip? Because we're not far into that one. I can start that one over.
No,
Or did you want me to
can't.
play Jesus Christ is my nigga?
Not that. Definitely not
I
that.
vote number 2 again. If you got a couple minutes, you know what I'm saying. I'm definitely vote number 2 again. If you got a minute,
shoot.
if you can spare a minute.
You are funny. I have no idea what's happening, but are you going in on race realism? We're talking about Black fatherlessness, and Heather McDonald started talking about I'll start the Heather McDonald one. Let me see. Redo the Heather. Yeah, 1 month platinum. Yes, play the clip over from the beginning for those coming in. No, not the song. Okay.
Show not
Okay.
the song.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Right.
Show not the song. All right.
Rapping for Jesus is my jam. All right, so let's get this over at 1:24. So it's a minute 24 seconds is how far we got in.
If we could extirpate the dysfunctional underclass culture, and that is something that is tearing down Blacks' potential to succeed by embracing this oppositional culture that says that academic effort and achievement is acting white. It glorifies criminality, glorifies conspicuous consumption, misogyny, maximal procreation, having as many children as you can by different baby mamas. If we could get
different baby mamas,
I would say an intervention that was maybe focused less on the cognitive matters and more on simply deferring gratification, self-control, the types of issues that Edward Banfield wrote about in the Unheavenly City, that would be the most important thing to focus on, because I'm not sure that efforts to change the cognitive skills gap will be that successful over time. But really, all we ask is people to respect the law and to restrain their impulses.
Comply.
And as you pointed out,
comply, people. She said, respect the law. Respect the law. Comply. Underclass culture components. Glorify criminality, conspicuous consumptions, max procreation, anti-intellectualism, no self-control. And delayed gratification was the first one.
Oh, really? So all the Billy Bobs that I met in the Army, that makes no never mind to her.
Man, my thing is this though. If the idea is obey the law, is this the same chick? This the same chick who talking about support the cops, right?
Yeah. Just from her bio, somebody was writing about her.
All right, because none of
her. Go ahead.
No, my bad. Because you catching people up. Go ahead if you want to read.
Yeah, so Heather McDonald, she is known for her pro-police views and opposition to criminal justice reform, as expressed in her book "The War on Cops" and columns she has written such as.
Okay, I get what's going on here.
The myth of the racist cop and the myth of systemic police racism.
Okay, so how many baby mamas do you gotta have for you to qualify to get shot in the street? Is it a certain number of baby mamas that you gotta have? Like, okay, so how undereducated do you have to be shot in the street? Like, is there like a you know what I'm saying? Like, is there like a minimum? You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of what she's saying being right in one sense of the term,
yo,
like, are you saying like, because obeying the law and basically being killed in the street for no ass reason is two different things. Niggas break the law every day, don't get shot and killed. That's the problem. That's the only defining line. Niggas break the law every day. You can't have all the black folks in jail. They break the law every day and manage to make it to jail just fine. That's the only problem. Breaking the law just ain't an automatic death sentence. And plus, why she have to say baby mama like it was one word? She said baby mama. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, she said it like it was one word. That's how I know. Hell no.
I appreciated what she put on it because she didn't say baby mothers. I expected her, like from everything else she said, all the other words, her verbiage and vernacular, I expected baby mothers. I just expected that.
She could have just said single mothers.
She could have, but she didn't. She
No,
was
she
trying
didn't.
to. She was trying to give a very specific term that we would all know.
Because black men
she
don't
meant.
make single
Okay,
mothers. Black men
Arshawn.
don't make single mothers. We make baby mamas.
Right, Arshawn, I'm gonna put something in the back chat here.
All right.
If you want to be ignorant, let's go all the way. You gave me an idea for a show. I'm gonna be playing this one on my show as well as the one that with this dumb chick here. Okay, if you want to, after you've done this, you've done your thing with this, and we've done this. Use this as another example of how people view us. Okay, and share your screen when you go to that, when you click on that link, and let's get rolling, man. People need to see this, and that's why I'm gonna do it on my show. Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
You see, obey the law until it goes for the violent overthrow the government. Ops wrong line. Where are the rednecks gathering? Yeah, they're gonna tear up her AAV linguistics lesson. Yeah, she was using AAV, which was funny. Can we hear Jordan Peterson? Yeah, we're about to hear. Okay, Bree. Bree don't like the long pause.
Yeah. Can we please hear Professor Jordan Peterson?
Let's hear the good doctor.
Say some dumb shit.
The data for, let's say, the Head Start enterprise does indicate very clearly that these wide-scale attempts to increase general cognitive ability did not succeed. What you saw with Head Start was that the children who went through Head Start were more likely to be in the proper grade for their age, and they were more likely to graduate from high school, and they were less likely to become pregnant in teenagehood. But
real quick, more likely to be on track in school, more likely to graduate, and less likely to have a child while in high school.
that hope for expanding boost of cognitive ability as a consequence of early childhood intervention it occurred in the immediate aftermath of the Head Start experience, but was obliterated as a general rule by grade 6. All the other kids caught up. And so then there's only two places to go from there, and one is to go even earlier into the intervention, which means you start taking kids away from their family in some real sense at the age of, let's say, 2 or even earlier, and that's a rat's nest and a nightmare of its own accord, or to understand that, as you pointed out, that there are other socioeconomic variables that might be focused on. I think one of the most interesting ones biologically is likely fatherlessness. Like we do know, for example, that girls who don't have a father will hit puberty on average at least a year earlier, which is substantially earlier. And that indicates a real biological impact of the lack of a masculine figure in the household. Because
real quick, I want to pause it there because I want to make sure I'm making note of these points. Let me see. On that first part, he said they talked about Head Start. Because again, they are pulling from the conversation that preceded it, where they were talking about the cognitive gap between Black people and everybody, including Native Americans. The cognitive gap is, I guess, wide enough for it to be remarkable between us and everybody else in this nation. So even Head Start, those early interventions around age 6, only helps the children be on track with their grade and age, graduate, and they don't typically have teenage pregnancy, which I think are all great things to come out of a program. I would say, if we wanted to work on something, I think that sounds fantastic.
This is out of graduating more. This is out of the Head Start program.
Out of the Head Start program. Now again, that might be in some citations on their original video, but I doubt it. I doubt they have extensive citations on their video. They could, but I cannot say. Let me see. What did he say? What was it? What did he say? If the father's not in the home 1 year earlier, what was the word he used? Puberty.
The child hit puberty. But
a girl
hit puberty
1 year earlier.
Okay.
Greg Bryant. So I have a question for people dunking on Black culture. How can I, a honky, listen to hip hop and be fine? But if Black people hear it, they can't resist the urge to rob a liquor store. I know, man. I've robbed 16 liquor stores in the last 3 months. I a little Dirk. Okay, I can't help myself.
I have to put in my
Because you thought
hand
a
when I
father
go
would start
past the liquor
puberty a
store.
year earlier on average. Thought that was interesting. Like, he was complete nonsense. It's all made up. I feel like there are so many circumstances that cannot be accounted for to try to make a causation statement on that. But you're going to hear a few of them. You're going to hear a few. But let's let them rock a little bit further. I just wanted to make a couple notes.
That's a walloping physiological difference. We know that boys who have lack of father at the age of 12 have telomeres. So this is a genetic difference that are on average something approximating 15% shorter, which means that all other things being equal, they're already doomed to a much shorter life. And so we don't know what the pervasive multi-generational consequences of the breakdown in familial structure in the final analysis are. I mean, it does appear that the Black population has fallen behind on the family integration and stability front since the early 1960s rather than making advances. And it doesn't look like that's good for anyone concerned, given the absolute wealth of data showing how pervasive a problem at every level fatherlessness happens to be. We also have no idea what the consequence of fatherlessness is on the development of general cognitive ability across time. There might be a literature on that that I don't happen to be familiar with, but
Pause that real quick so we can just chop up that first part. So they mentioned a couple of things that I wanted to wanted to talk about. So fatherlessness has an actual physiological impact on when a child hits puberty. Like, let's take that for fact. You know, but we're not scientists. He's a psychologist, so I mean, he's probably not studying genetics, but he's reading some literature, and let's take that for granted for the sake of this conversation. If fathers are so integral in the development of children, and I know there's an anti-intellectual leaning in our culture, what do you think we could possibly, how could we actually educate people on this? Because we're going to hear this from people like Jordan Peterson and Heather McDonald, and it's going to feel away. It's going to feel like criticism and preaching down. But how can we actually hear this and take positive steps? Like, take the criticism and move forward.
Don't be so sensitive. Why is a bunch of white people talking about this? Why don't they let black people? Because black people ain't talking about it. How about that? We're not having that discussion for whatever reason. You're upset because white people are having it, which lets you know that we should be having this conversation, but you're not having it. You didn't even have the idea to have it until you saw white people doing it. How about we start using some, like I said on my show Wednesday, exercising some critical thinking and actually start debating solutions rather than just pointing out issues. That might help. Call me crazy. It might help a little bit. Might not fix nothing, but it might point you in the right direction, if nothing else. But who am I?
So I'm looking at it like this: if the concept under discussion is fatherlessness, and that means the father being absent out of the house in the black community.
Yep.
Right. Why is that happening? Because I'm hearing a lot of the results of why of what happens when it happens, but we're not talking about why it's happening. So the conversation is basically just like, look how shit they are when this happens. Well, let's talk about why it's happening. The father ain't in the house for it got to be one or two reasons. One or two intentional reasons, unless he's dead, which if that's the case, we ain't talking about that. But it's one or two reasons. Either the father don't want to be there or the mother don't want him there. That's in a nutshell. And it really ain't no two ways about it. Ain't no system stopping no fathers from being fathers. Not one. Not one. Do they assist the mothers that keep the fathers away from the kids? Probably so. Do the fathers get lazy and not check in with the system and they come bite them in the ass? Probably so. But at the same time, that's the only two reasons this is even going on. And there's not a discussion in the world that's going to change that type of mindset. It's cool. It's cool. The conversation is cool. But you can't teach somebody having this kind of conversation. Don't teach a father who don't want to be there for his kid to go be there for his kid. Like, if people know that if we hearing as people who be in these spaces that from women who say that a father is so necessary, then the conversation that ain't never being had. See, we know about this conversation. The conversation that ain't never being had is, why do we sit back and just be okay with mothers keeping the fathers out of the picture? We talk about fathers not showing up all the time. We know that. That's something been going on forever. But there's one thing. It's one thing if he don't want to show up. It's another thing if he being prevented from being there. So why is it happening? Because shit, the kid going into puberty a year after the fact don't really. Okay, so they got some hair in places they ain't supposed to have hair in a little early. Shit, so
yeah, the hormones are going to kick in a little sooner though, which leads to other things. It all matters, man. It all matters.
Yo, you going through puberty, and me, so whoever's in charge taking care of the, like, it. Look, I get it. Like, going through puberty is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you getting the lessons and all the other shit, and somebody is minding you as a child, you not gonna just go out and make them type of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And we can't keep looking at it. Like, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough when they go through puberty. But man, whenever it happened, it's gonna be hard. Whenever it happened, whether it happened a year, we talking about a year though. You see what I'm saying? We're not talking like 3 years. So if it happened at 10 instead of 11, or 11, whenever it happened, it's gonna be bad. So how long are we putting it off?
I get what you're saying. When you're talking about I would say an under-resourced home where you already are lacking one parent, and somebody all of a sudden is boy crazy or girl crazy 1 year earlier. Like, every little bit of time you can put something off like that, some of them problems that are happening in the community, that delay can really be instrumental in somebody getting to a place of maybe they've had another year of financial gains to maybe make their home a little bit more financially stable, or they've had another year to possibly meet a mentor or something. I mean, there's 1 year can make a lot of difference in a person's life, a huge difference. So I get what you're saying. It's just a year, but some people's lives have been turned upside down in a year.
I get that. I get that part. But I'm saying this, so that kind of, and we go, because I don't want to derail from the video. But this is almost saying like, well, if the father is there, it's going to, like, there's some financial kind of number that would prevent puberty being hard. Like, there's no amount of money that's going to regulate hormones in a teenager. There's no amount of money that's going to regulate hormones. There's no stability There's no level of stability in the house that's going to really regulate hormones. Because either they just going to maintain it and they're going to lose their fucking mind. Like, it comes out in some form. So it either spills over immediately, or they store that shit up and it just explodes in their teenage years.
And I'm just thinking a second set of eyes. I'm not talking about the income. The income, I'm not saying the income suppresses anything. I'm just thinking that this us having like a father in the home, even when they do hit puberty, if you have a second set of eyes and hands that are participating in the family structure, I think it helps mitigate a lot of the problems that people run into with single family structures. I just think that's something that would, I mean, just like on a common sense type level, 2 heads are better than 1. Somebody can pick up the kid instead of the kid having to walk home if somebody's available, like little switch offs and things. And I'm not saying that's across the board. Of course, you could have 2 parents and they're 2 of the worst parents. So again, I'm not trying to blanket everything. I'm just saying more than likely having 2 quality parents will be better than having 1, no matter when you hit puberty. But
I got you. No, I got you on that. Yeah, I ain't got no argument with that. I got you.
Let me bring JP back in.
It is certainly the case that that's another place we might look if we were trying to bolster social stability and eradicate some of the pervasive differences in what would you say, general psychological well-being that seem to be associated with race.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're underplaying this as how bad it is. You know, when Daniel Patrick Moynihan wrote his astoundingly prescient report in the 1960s, warning that the country was about to screech to a dead halt with regards to further civil rights progress. His reason was not a resurgence of white racism or changing economic positions in the country, opportunities in the country. His reason was what he saw at the time as a catastrophic breakdown in the Black family. At that point, when Moynihan wrote this report, the out-of-wedlock birth rate for Blacks was 23%. And Moynihan said that with that number of young Black males growing up in single-family homes without fathers to socialize them, to civilize them, growing up without the expectation of a marriage culture, this population is doomed.
All right, let's go ahead and bring her down for a quick second. Mandrill and then Yellow, what did y'all think about that portion where, you know, she's like, hey, listen, I think you underplaying this whole thing. It's more serious than you talking about, JP. I know you cool and all, but these Black people out here destroying themselves. Moynihan said it was bad in the 60s, and you up here acting like, you know, it's something casual that we need to address. What do y'all think about that portion of the conversation? When slave masters care.
Well, here's the thing. That might be the case, but here's the thing. They did it. They had a huge. If you're talking about white people, if you're separating by race, we couldn't have done it without them. Couldn't have done it without you, Mr. White Man. You did a fantastic job of social engineering. This is the greatest accomplishment of social engineering in the history of mankind. And I think it's fascinating that you created this mess and blamed the mess for not cleaning itself. You know, if I cook dinner, I'm going to cook dinner tonight. And after I'm done, I'm going to put some dishes in the sink. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I don't make any dishwater and just leave them in the sink and come back tomorrow? Would I be justified in yelling at the dishes for not cleaning themselves? It's a mess, yeah. But we didn't make it. You did. Okay? Only thing we could do is respond to what was going on to us in the environment that you created and held us in. All we could do is survive. You could, back in the day, during the Moynihan era, we couldn't get certain jobs. We couldn't go to college. Couldn't get trades. You know what I'm saying? Even if we were qualified, white man still wouldn't let you get the job. So you're blaming us. Sheer fucking hubris. Unreal. real. You know, it never gets old. And it never not surprise. It never gets to the point where it doesn't surprise me. Why are you using past tense, Mandrill? Why are you using past tense, Mandrill? That's because they're doing such a good job of hiding it. Black people believe the bullshit now, B9. They think they're free. They think that we have complete autonomy over our lives, and we so don't. So I have to meet people where they are. People misunderstand me, man. People took things that I said Wednesday night, last night, very personally, and I got some nasty messages. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, how do y'all misunderstand that? I don't get it, but I mean, you know, it happens. You know, B9, you got to meet people where they are and try to hope your message lands with them. I mean, that's where we are. We don't even try to understand context, even though I mentioned how important context was last night early in the show. The niggas still missed it. And I get to say that, not you, Whitey. And when Arshawn played that YouTube video in a minute.
Unless.
No, not unless. Oh, unless he wants an ass whooping. Yeah, you're right.
Unless you talking about Jesus.
Jesus is my nigga.
Oh no. Wait until gotcha. Wait until Arshawn played the video I sent him. I want to see what y'all think about that.
I mean, so I'm just looking like this. Like, I can't with her, man. Like, she made me want to go make a baby out of wedlock out of spite. I'm just gonna knock up a chick out of spite. Just her whole tone about it. So the fuck what? Shit, what y'all mad because we over here clapping cheeks? Hop to it, motherfucker. Shit, you better act like you know what's good over here. Shit, I just told you. But now it's, man, look, like Mandrill said, this is the person who starts the fucking problem complaining about the problem, which is, you know, typically what's going on right now. People are the issue, complaining about the issue. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the oil. It's like the oil machine, the machine that's leaking oil. You know what I'm saying? It's got to clean up itself, and you know what I'm saying, scrape up the oil itself. Same concept, man. It's same concept. And you talking about 1960s reports and all this other shit. Look, man, some shit just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, because like I said, they ain't really even talking about why it's happening. They just like, yep, look, see, they fucked up. We told you. Yeah, I could, like you said, I could agree. It started with, a lot of this is because the whole family structure broke down. But then motherfuckers start to try to point it out. Everybody get mad. Nobody want to take accountability for their actions. Like, nobody want to do it.
Now, here's my thing, though, because I'm going to push back on what both of you guys said, because they talked about in the 60s, it was bad at 23%. Bree put it in the chat, but do you gentlemen know where we're at now as far as out of wedlock births, as far as black people in the United States? All right. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, as of 2015, black people were at 77.3%. 77.3% of the births of black people were out of wedlock. Now, to offset Sister Heather, dear Sister Heather, who cares so much about black people and their plight, they said it was catastrophic at 23%, catastrophic, and headed towards a cliff that was like calamity, whatever she said. I can't remember her verbiage, But she said 23% was, oh, that's terrible. Moynihan said this, and oh man, it's headed towards civilization ending, whatever she said. What do you think white people are at right now?
Well, yeah.
23 was bad for us. It was terrible. Guess where white people are right now?
Where they at?
30% and climbing. So they're following. They're chasing us. So like you said about, Mandrell said about not being different, people aren't different. And the culture, unfortunately, isn't too different, but we don't have any of the safety nets and social structures that are slowing down this precipitous decline in our culture. We don't have any breaks. So yeah, we're at 77.3. Hispanic is at 56.9, and whites pulling up behind at 30. And I believe Asian was even lower than them because Asians are whatever. They seem to be better at everything: math, education, money making, out of way of life. They still have more of an ingrained culture that they've kept up as opposed to the rest of us. But nobody's escaping. Nobody's escaping the problem. You just when do you get slapped? When do you get slapped? But it is a problem. We see it. We're seeing the effects of it. We're seeing it in these conversations on these panels where people are unable to pay, or we're seeing it where somebody has 5 kids and no options. We're seeing the problem. We're seeing the decline. So I know as individuals, no one of us can save everybody. And I know these conversations, like people like Mandrell said, we're not even having these conversations. White people are having these conversations about us, but we're not picking up those conversations and running with them, and also including some of the stats and information. For whatever reason, we'll spend a lot more time talking about a myriad of other things as opposed to really looking at it sober-minded and really just taking the onus like, man, we're messing up. What part do I play in this? And a lot of times the people that are having the conversation aren't the problem. None of us have multiple children out here that are unattended to. And I would say people in the chat, none of the people in the chat probably have multiple children unattended to. So that's a secondary problem. The second problem is the people that are willing to have the conversation aren't the people with the problem. So then how do we get the information, or how do we influence the people who are causing the problem? Do we keep putting them on Kendra G to be platformed like it's entertainment? Our social ill, our collapse of any family structure is used as entertainment and a profit center. So what responsibility do we have as people to see it, to do something? And then what can we do? And again, I don't have answers. I'm not saying that because I have an answer. I'm saying like what ideas can we come up with?
So let's brainstorm something real quick, because I hear what you're saying. I do, because it is a problem in those type of situations. But without blaming white people, because I get it, we are equally as responsible at this point. You know what I'm saying? Black folks are equally as responsible at this point. The problem is that having these conversations, neither side want to understand their faults. You know what I'm saying? I truly feel some type of way about it, and this is my own personal bias, and I'm trying not to go with that.
Okay.
But I think I have to, as to truly get the point across to why this conversation is going to be halted. We all know about deadbeat fathers. Everybody in here can register a deadbeat father. We are not having the bounce back conversation to adjust the other end of the spectrum. I know this supposed to be a come on man. I know it is.
I didn't even do come on man. I forgot to do come on man. I did critically drinking.
I know it's supposed to be a come on man. But the conversation gets halted when we start discussing the negative effects of how the mother acts in the situation. So we can sit up and talk about deadbeat daddies all day. I'm with it. It's fucked up. But as soon as we turn the page and start talking about the other side of the coin, well, no, not everybody want to get defensive. Now you're attacking single mothers and you're doing all this and you're doing all that. Well, no, you also calling it out as you see it. So as to their point, I get it, but if we doing a conversation without blaming them, without blaming white people, then we're gonna need everybody to take responsibility. And I get it. Like I said, I'm that's kind of where I'm at. If we ain't gonna talk about both sides, then we ain't never gonna get past the shit.
So at this point, like what then? Like based on what you're saying, what role do white people today have in the outcomes of Black families?
That shit, the damage done. They took their gloves off, threw them first down, dust their hands off, and walked away. They sitting back having a lemonade right now. Now it's on us to do something about it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's ever going to be something done about it. And it's like I said, this ain't to be turned down, but the Black mom is too revered for us to have the pendulum balance out. For us to really, really call them out, like how negatively they affect a lot of what's going on. We know about the deadbeat dad. Okay. That's why it's so easy to talk about the baby mama instead of talking about the woman making a bunch of kids or being reckless with the baby father. That's why baby mama came out so easy. Because that's more of an indictment on the man that he making baby mamas.
That's what she said, making baby mamas.
It's more of an indictment on the Black male.
Making baby mamas and not keeping their children in school. They're not getting good food to eat. They like to be poor. So this is not conducive of an environment. Really, like to be poor. I heard a white woman say that before, Yella. They like to be poor. Like to be poor? I was a child at the time. I was in elementary school. And they were having a debate like this at school. A grown woman said that Black people like to be poor. Shout out to the state of Alabama's public school system, boy. Holy shit. How I turned out to be the way I am. Thank God I like to read. Man.
I say this though. Just to be 9 point though, right? I get they still doing damage, but if we was at 30 when that report came out, right? We was at 30 when that report came out. That was us. At some point, it became us. Around 50%, it became us. That the pendulum of responsibility starts swinging the other way, because it don't get up to 70, damn near 75%. Unless we participate. Yeah, unless we willingly participate in.
Yes. All right, we're gonna come back.
How you doing? Hey, Quantum, how you doing?
We're gonna come back to the deadbeat dads, the reckless moms, and the racism. I want to get back to the video for a minute, but I wrote those down to come back to it so we can try to touch on a couple of those topics. Hey, Quantum, how you doing? Hey, Quantum, how you doing?
Hi, Quantum. How you articulate? Yes.
Can we move on, please? Can we move on back to the video, please?
You will not get out of underclass poverty culture, gang culture. Well, what are we at today? We're at 71% of what Moynihan was raising an alarm about. So 3 times higher about. And so it is absolutely at civilization destroying levels. And what is as bad, and we know, you say we don't know the cognitive consequences of that. That's probably true. But we certainly have ample data on the fact that kids growing up in single parent family homes are 4 or 5 times as likely to be poor. You know, you say you'd be better off being born with a smart parent than a rich parent, I would say you're better off being born with two parents than one welfare supported single mother who happens to have a larger government income than two working class married parents that are maybe pulling in $25,000 a year. You still, if you're in a Rawlsian position of choosing where you want to end up, you choose the two-parent family over the wealthy single mother.
I just had to say, first of all, Bree, I don't know if you're here. I don't know if you're here, Bree, but did you hear her talk about 25K Joe? Yes. Did you hear her talk about 25K Joe and 25K Jill putting their 25Ks together? And that is better than one person on public assistance. But not only that, she said one person on wealthy. She said wealthy.
Yeah.
I don't know how she got that. She cited a person, a single family on welfare, and then used the term wealthy. I don't know anybody that drew welfare that was wealthy.
Look, how many
Except
kids
Brett
she
Favre.
got? How many kids
Except
she
Brett
got?
Favre. Even if she had 20.
No, he didn't draw welfare. He just stole from it.
I mean, right? He drew. He definitely drew. He definitely drew from it. He definitely drew from it.
He just put his hand right in the pot. He just put his hand right in the pot.
He definitely drew right from it.
Yeah, he just put his hand right in the pot and got some.
Yeah. Let me get this.
He withdrew from it. That's what he did.
Yeah, right.
Good Lord, Brett Favre.
Yeah, but I had to pause that real quick. You thought you misheard her? Nah, she said wealthy. But there's a narrative. You know, there's a narrative running in her mind. The welfare queen is a narrative that dates back, I want to say, to the 80s, where there was like this assumption that these people who were living high on the hog on welfare in these luxury apartments, eating steaks and lobster, and maybe a few people hustled the system, but that was not the overarching reality for most people who are on welfare and public assistance. They're not living high on the hog, but she said wealthy because that's the mythology that's in her head, and it comes out. Like, that's the problem with bias. It comes out when you're not paying attention. And nobody, because there were no black people in the room who had that. Nobody could have stopped her. Oh, whoa, let's clip that out. Let's take that out of this conversation. Nobody else that was listening to that conversation from the Daily Wire has a different script. Nobody's there with a different mindset that would have been like, oh, wait a minute. Reagan, yep, 80s. Sorry, the welfare queen thing was one woman committing one woman. And now it's a running narrative that people are running with to think that people on welfare are just, she said wealthy. Why would you even use that word?
Yeah.
How could you even possibly use that for welfare?
In this particular situation, yeah, being that you're speaking about a certain thing, you know, write you write books, which means you use words very specifically. I told you, like, everything about her says colored water fountain. So
and Nova, you're absolutely right. Gang culture and broken family are an outcome, but that's not their supposition. Is if you change the culture, you'll get a different outcome. But you're saying, why can't culture be the output? I think that's the yin and the yang. I think it's a cycle. There was something I heard, and I can't remember who said it, but individuals create culture creates systems. Then systems reinforce culture, and the culture shapes individuals. So it's a two-tiered, like it's both at the same time. It's both and. We see all these little cultural phenomena that idiot whites attribute uniquely to Black Americans in other countries with similar system scenarios. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was raised by a single mom on welfare, surrounded by the same. I never met a single welfare queen. Neither did I. Man, neither did I. Now, I knew some people that pimped the heck out of some food stamps. Oh, my God. I know some people that, man, they made them food stamps look real scrumptious. They had a bunch of kids, and they were getting $800 a month in food stamps. I'm talking about like decades ago when $800 a month was like a lot at the grocery store. Ooh, I've seen some stuff, but they were never rich. They still went back to places with roaches, with mice in the hood, gunshots, and none of them were wealthy. None of them had big TVs or fancy cars, but I know there's some fraud out there. But attributing fraud to the whole, that's problematic. Let's bring Heather back in here to close this out, and then we're going to go into some of the topics, just break it down like piece by piece.
So things are really bad. But the problem is, how do you fix it? And people like you and I have been going around talking about the problem of single parenting. And I was just going to add, the problem is not just for the individual child and growing up without a father, but when boys are raised in a culture that does not expect them to get married before they have children, they are absolved of the types of expectations that can help them become functioning males. And I know I'm in your territory here, Jordan, and talking about how do you civilize the savage male libido. But one way you do so is say, if you want to make your
Go ahead, man. Trey, I see your face. You
Hold
that,
on,
you
man. We
word?
were both on that, man. We was both on that one. What savage? What the hell?
Right, yellow. The savage male.
Hey, look, lady.
libido.
Look, lady. You want these cheeks clamped or not? The fuck is wrong with you? You
I'm
talking about
saying.
the savage male libido?
Oh,
That's
shit.
the fuck wrong with. They won't look. She gonna act. They supposed to act like we supposed to go in there and pity pat. Just go in there and halfway. We supposed to, man, fuck that. Nigga, I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet.
Okay.
Shit, fuck you mean?
Yeah, and Yellow even gave her the knife hand.
I didn't even know.
Like he's in the military. Like that's
Like,
a military. That's
boy,
an army thing.
boy.
Yeah, that's an army thing. Yeah, that's an army thing, man.
Yo, get yo, man.
The savage male libido.
Fuck
Savage.
God, I thought that was hilarious. The language that she evokes, it just pulls, like you said, the water. It pulls from the water fountain, man. Her water source is definitely attached to the segregated water fountains. It's gotta be, because all the language, civilized, savages, baby mamas, like you ain't nothing you can do to save the cognitive decline, a civilization ending. Like all of her language for somebody that supposedly cares. All of us that care, Jordan, I know we care. It just, man, it's a trip hearing her all that come off of her lips.
That's why I told just the racism in it make me want to go do it right now. Right now. That's just my savage male libido. Yeah. I got that. Let me tap into that thing real quick.
Mm-hmm. I read everything. I gave me a magic box containing all human information, and I used it more than corn. Now, Greg, I'm sorry. I have to correct you because somebody corrected me. Al Gore did not create the magic box. It is Beyonce. It's Beyonce's internets. It's not Al Gore's internets. We were misled. And I apologize for having to break that to you, Greg, but some ladies did correct me that it was not Al Gore's internet. It was Beyonce's internet. So I just want to pass that information.
No, it wasn't. First of all, what you're going wrong by listening to women. That's number one. That's Al Gore's internet, okay?
I mean,
white man. White man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they call it, man. It's insane. This whole world is insane. The whole world's going to hell in a damn sandwich.
Right.
Oh my God.
The internet belong to Beyonce right now.
Sorry, Greg. You see it? You see what Bria's saying? You see what Beyonce is saying? Beyonce says it belongs to Beyonce.
I disagree.
She's an unstoppable force right now. Like, I don't even think she's real. I promise you, I don't think she's real.
I think she's an AI creation.
She's like a. I'm what's the word I'm looking for?
See, now Leon says on here too.
Like a vision.
Leon says. Don't listen to Beyonce. I'm out of the loop. Listen, you don't have to listen to her music to know that she created the internet or is currently in possession. She took over after her self-titled album. She's an alien superstar. So, Greg, now that you've been informed, I mean,
Yeah, like Beyonce's form is human, but she definitely got possessed by an alien at some point. It's like Men in Black. the bug that took over, dude. Yeah, it's just pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Yeah, she got possessed by an alien. I can believe it. I can believe Leah.
Yeah. Believe all women. Don't even waste your time trying to compete with me, Beyonce. I like that they're just throwing out random lyrics from songs.
Right.
That must be like some kind of like is that some kind of like hazing ritual? Like, does that get y'all into the Bayhive?
No, that's how they communicate.
Oh, okay.
Each verse is a message. Like each line is its own encoded message.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Beyonce on his mouth like liquor is saying that she likes critically drinking.
Right, there you go. Right.
Got you.
There you go.
Don't even waste your time trying to compete with me. Was Bree saying that I said what I said about it being Beyonce's internet, and don't try to contradict what I'm saying. Like, don't try
exactly.
to
Exactly. There you go.
Then Leah saying, I'm one of one. I'm the only one. So at that point, she's saying, we've got 1 minute left in the video. We should get back to it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. I'm starting to learn how to be able to interpret. What did Kanye do on his last album? Tell my producers to do that. Beyonce are Is that a real lyric?
Probably not.
No, how did you say a lyric accidentally? Did I say a lyric? What did I say? I don't even know what I said. Let me quit. Let me leave Beyonce alone.
Yeah, you started to speak Beyonce. Hold on. No, you started to speak Beyonce, bro. No, hold on. Say some other shit. Say some other shit. Say some
Jesus is my nigga.
Shit, right? There you go. All right, you gotta cleanse that shit out real quick. Nah, we ain't know that.
Oh shoot.
Play the video I sent you, man. Do the shit. Click on the link.
Let me get through this last minute. We got like last minute on this one. Last minute with the races. Pleather Heather. Pleatherface. Come on, lady. Last minute. Come on. Oh, it's not playing. But I see it.
To defer gratification, you have to learn mate. You have to learn male libido. But one way you do so is say, if you want to make yourself a plausible mate, you have to learn to defer gratification. You have to learn to have future orientation. And when you're growing up in an inner city and it is absolutely the norm that you can start having sex with girls at age 12, they may or may not get pregnant, but you will have no further responsibilities. There is no reason to develop those skills of self-control that make you a plausible worker, a plausible husband, a plausible colleague in any kind of voluntary association. So that's the problem. The solution, though, is extremely difficult because, as I've been reprimanded in the past by Deborah Dickerson, the relationship between the sexes in the Black community is very, very troubled.
All right, cool. So yeah, the relationship between the Black man and the Black woman is extremely troubled, which is another reason I'm about tired lately. I'm about tired because I unsubscribed from so many places this week. I just cannot take too much more of the relationship conversations. I know you said yes, sir. They fucking early, but she said the norm. She said the norm. That's my only pushback. I know they're having sex early. I've even heard earlier than that, but the norm, I take that as like a very common occurrence. I did drop the link for the full conversation in. That was the end of that 8-minute clip that we're going to reference for the fatherlessness. But I did drop the link, and I'll drop it in the chat for you one more time. For this is, again, for the 8-minute video that we just played and went through. This is the link. But in the description for this video that I just dropped in, they have the link to the entire video, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So if you click on that link, go to it. Inside the description, they'll have the full conversation, the part about the cognitive decline and all that good stuff, because I wanted to go over the entire thing at some point, but I didn't want to do that today. This was supposed to be a Come On Man. I completely forgot it was supposed to be a Come On Man because somebody needed to tell me Come On Man because your boy been slipping. Let me hit myself with Lisa, come on, son.
Come on, son.
Good old Ed Lover.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Come on, man.
There we go. There we go with Joe. All right, we got Joe. All right, so white people. Let's start school so we can teach the poors to show up on time and remain quiet when the person in charge is speaking. Absolutely. They said, I've been on the internet since it was just AOL chat trolling. I'm not afraid of the beehive. If you want to dunk on Beyonce, just say I said it. Okay. I appreciate you backing me up, man. What's
Well,
up,
it was
100
nice.
watts?
It was nice knowing you, Greg. They're gonna be at your head in about 2 weeks, man. So just look. Just if you hear like a random star going on, just evacuate. Evacuate.
Now, is that the beehive buzz or is that the rose buzz?
I mean,
is there any differences? Is that what you about to say?
Come
see,
come
sa.
sa.
I knew it. Oh, shoot. Tomato. I don't think that's true for the girls, though, but I'll see what I find. Okay, Bree, let me know, because I'd be curious to find out. If you're talking about, I don't think that's true for the girls. You don't think the girls are having sex at age 12, but the guys are? I really want to know how that worked out. I gotta know. I gotta know. Right. You feel me? You feel me? I don't think that's true for the girls, though, but I'll see what I find. Yeah, they having sex at 12, but not the girls. So, I mean, maybe the boys are having sex with older girls. I don't know. The mean ages. Got you. All right. I'm just curious. It could be wrong. Anything could be happening. I don't know. I'll give them my address and they can come tell me. Okay. All right. That's what's up. It's the agenda. Another agenda. Everybody's got an agenda.
I hate it, Joe. I hate it.
That's a good point, Bree. You're right. Because development.
Why you say it like
development
that?
is different.
I hate you. No, why you say it like that?
Well, because when I saw it, it just struck me like.
Why you say that shit like that, man?
Like, come on, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come on, man. Come on, boy. So, y'all doing?
Come on.
What y'all doing? Yeah, come on, sons. Come on, sons. Talking about father. Come on, sons. How y'all having sex at 12 and the girls ain't? Yeah, come on, sons of Christ. Because, boy, whoo, because there's a lot of all-boys schools around here, boy, and I'm like, I just couldn't imagine. I'd hate, well, you know, people do what they want. But not 12, no, they shouldn't be doing anything. Anyway, let me just move on, because I just can't, that thought, no. Anyway, let's talk about some of the stuff that they brought up, man. I know you brought up a couple topics. Let's talk about some of the things you brought up, because I really thought that was an interesting conversation. It was dripping with a little, the entire conversation is dripping with a little racial bias, a little, you know, a little pointiness, a little you people was up in there, but we do have a part to play. We can't lay all the problems of the community at the feet of other people. That's why I was trying not to go there, Greg. It ain't gay if they identify the right way.
Did you play that video yet?
No. Where were you?
I'm right here. I was getting a donut.
See what I'm saying? Let me pull that up. Let's see what Mandrill wanted to bring to the table. Let's pull that up real quick.
I think the title of Wednesday's show is going to be "You're Still a Minstrel."
Ooh.
What?
Now my YouTube be YouTubing, man. So we're gonna see how this works.
Look at Leah. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Hold up.
And Bree, they don't usually match. Listen carefully. Turn it up if you can turn the volume up. And never mind, it's buffering.
Yeah, I don't know what
let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
And see, it's buffered halfway through. It's something with StreamYard where it won't play the videos.
Why
I don't
not?
know what it is.
Is
I
it
don't
just
know.
yours? Or?
I've seen other people struggle with it, but I haven't seen anybody
There it
struggle
is.
with it like mine.
Yo.
Good morning, nigga. Good morning to you, nigga.
Yeah.
Your stock went down, nigga. Motherfucking Fujitsu Heavy Industries, one crazy nigga. Damn, this stock market is one unpredictable nigga. Hey, Mom. What you cooking, nigga?
Your favorite, nigga. Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles, Yella. Yep.
I'm calling here.
Chicken and waffles, Yella.
Hey, Asian chicken and waffles probably good as fuck though.
Hold on, my niggas. What's missing here?
Hot sauce.
Niggas or what?
Hot sauce or watermelon?
I mean, when was the last time you was able to understand Japanese or Chinese? This is my part of racism because I do not. It's Japanese, right?
Japanese, yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, we actually able to understand Japanese.
This is what they listen to, Yella. Yeah.
I mean, so I say this, right?
Yes.
I would be offended, but we all know every time we done went and ordered some Chinese food, we done made fun of the motherfucking lady who taking our order in our head. So
Damn,
I ain't
Yella.
trying to hear that shit.
Come on, man. Why you gotta remind me of some bullshit? You ain't gotta remind me of some bullshit like that.
Y'all know. Yeah, everybody know. You either when you order it on the phone, you hang up and you mock them. You make fun of how they sound, or when you in front of them in your head. Yes, shit.
Hey,
yes,
man, go ahead. Calm down real quick, man, Joe, while you eating, man. We don't want to see what you eating.
Why?
Because we don't need to see it.
Okay.
What's your name, nigga, name, nigga,
We don't need to see it. Nay, nigga, nay.
Nigga,
nay. Nigga, nay. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
William McCarter, hello, sir. Good to see you. After all those years of Charlie Chan, yeah. The thing that kills me about people like that woman is the certainty. Could it be that population density and poverty are better indications of crime? Nah, it's rap music. Oh my God, have you guys seen the Want to Be a Ninja? I haven't seen that one. Seen lots of stuff with Ninja, but probably have not seen that one. But I wanted to get in a couple of the topics that Yella had brought up because I do think they're interesting points. They did bring up quite a few things. They did bring up the fatherlessness in the home as being rooted in a lot of problems, whether it was not having the two families, the physiological changes in puberty. What also, if you see the entire discussion, they also talk about literacy, having two parents that are in IQ. IQ is a big part of the discussion because, again, they're talking about the cognitive gap between Black people and everybody else. So there's a lot in that. But as far as, man, like, come on, man. As far
the cognitive
as
gap between Blacks and everybody else. There's a cognitive gap between us and everybody else. Really. Everyone else is smarter than black people.
Including the Native Americans, because they say it specifically. And see, I would have thought maybe with their history that maybe they would have been closer together, but they're not. It's just the Blacks.
There's no cognitive distance between Blacks and everybody else. This is that bullshit. No, I haven't. But Black people are people. Black people are people. They're human beings. They're just as capable as everyone else is. So where's the cognitive gap? We go to school and shit. We make good grades.
But there are tests. There are tests for IQ, SAT, ACT.
Oh, Black people ain't taking tests for IQs.
So that's probably why we keep registering as dumb then, because we ain't even taking the test.
Damn, Yellow. I'm trying to help us out, man.
You can't be like, we ain't dumb. Well, take the IQ test. We ain't taking that shit. Well, how we supposed to know? We just gonna assume you dumb then.
I'm just saying.
You fail the test if you don't show up too. Like they take that as a fail.
They do take that as a fail. That's true. I have taken an IQ test several times. The last time I took it when I was in the Army, and they made a second IQ test. It was in Special Forces Selection. No, the Q course, otherwise known as the qualification course. That's one of the first things they did. They made us sit down to take an IQ test. You know, and I was damn near 130.
Okay.
So, yeah, Leah, he must be above an 83. Yes, Leah, I'm far above an 83. That was a good one, though. To your credit, that was a pretty good one.
Is it like decimal points with your IQ?
Decimal points.
Because I'm probably like at an 83.6. Solid 83.6.
I have the tab open to take one, this free one, but we'll see. It didn't start off strong. I took like a couple questions. I was like, nope. I was like, Jesus Christ.
You talking about the one? You talking about the one Apex dropped in the link?
Yeah,
dropped in the chat?
like the first question.
Yeah, I clicked on it too, and I was like, so I understand.
Ridiculous. The first one was like, there are like 20 symbols with a number beside them, right? There were only 7 symbols. Everything else was a question mark. And I'm like, am I supposed to guess what each of the rest of the symbols are?
He's
to
like,
correlate
no.
which numbers? I was like,
Guess,
I'm
guess
done. I was like,
let's say, guess who's just gonna be dumb? This guy.
Man, I'm just gonna be dumb, man. I'm just gonna be dumb. I mean, there's a whole bunch of question marks. And I'm like, is it my browser just not knowing what that symbol is? Or am I supposed to? And I had like 30 seconds to figure this all out. And I'm like, okay, I'm out. Bump this mess, I'm out. Let me see. The record for highest recorded IQ is a woman named Marilyn Savant. IQ around 200. She said IQ is not an accurate measurement of intelligence. I agree with that. It's a quotient, not all quotients. It was bad. Let me see. So the person we should all be listening to by the metric of IQ says the metric is trash because it is. Did they go crazy test for the true nut bars? Oh, did they do a go crazy test for the true nut bars? Nope. Nope. The score goes past single digits. Yeah. And Mandrell got a 130. I can't remember everybody's scores, but that sounds pretty high.
It was a 129 point something. 29? Yeah, 129 point something.
That doesn't sound bad.
I was disappointed. I thought I failed or something. Like I was pissed off. Like when I was done with it. You know what I'm saying? I was proper disappointed in myself.
Yeah, Mr. He said put his score in. Tristan beat his score, and then the highest one we had was Bree. Bree had a 199.
Bree had a 199 IQ score. Stop it.
She had a 199.
No, she didn't. That's genius level. Far be above genius level. Bree is no genius. She's smart. She's sharp as a razor. I give her credit for that.
Oh, Sterling. It was Sterling. Okay. I do remember Sterling did come in with a high number. You right. Yeah, Sterling did come in with a high number. I can't remember any of the numbers. He's been here a few times. He came in with me and my nephew one time. 143. Okay, you're 13 above.
No, you're
14
not.
above.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not a 143.
I'm gonna take it live. I'm gonna take it live on stream.
Okay, that'd be something to do. She is the standard, the most likely person to be right. I'm a 12.
Damn, brother, are you breathing?
He's joking.
I know. I'm just messing with him, picking at him back. That's all. He said, I'm a 12.
The man who knows nothing.
A 12 wouldn't be able to. A 12 wouldn't be able to type that.
And then he go be 9. I got a 200. Beat that, suckers.
A negative 200.
You know what, B9? I believe you too. That crazy ass basketball afro.
He got a negative 200.
I got a negative 2. Bullshit. See, crazy. See, genius and crazy is two sides of the same coin. B9 come with the crazy genius shit now. A negative 200. No, B9, that's probably a 200 plus for you.
Minus because he said negative, so negative.
Yeah, he said negative.
You saying he's that deep in the hole?
No, I think he's reversing. See, geniuses are crazy at the same time. That's what they say anyway. Because Einstein used to have a closet full of the same outfit, right? and people say he was crazy. He's like, no, I don't have to worry about picking my clothes now. I can just grab my clothes and go. For him, it was efficient. Everyone else, he was crazy because there's no variety in his closet. But B9 is like that. You see what I'm saying? But
that's crazy.
It's this whole thing. See, right? See, Yellow said it's crazy. That's the shit B9 pulling right now. You try to pull a slick one.
You open your closet and look like fucking Bart Simpson closet.
It's just
all the orange short, all the orange shirts over here, all the blue shorts over there.
Right. That's all.
That shit ain't smart.
I had a closet full of the same outfit.
What?
That ain't smart.
For context, 70 is mentally retarded. 140 is a genius.
Yeah.
Peterson says he's a 150, so he's 10 away from being a genius, above a genius. The gap between her and Peterson. You talking about Heather McDonald? Or the lady that got 200? You talking about Bree? Who's the her?
Come on, Bree.
I got lost somewhere.
70, and actually, yes, people, mental retardation is an actual diagnosis. So is being a moron. It's an actual medical diagnosis. Moron.
That's beautiful. Yeah, cartoon character treatment.
That's beautiful. Hey, William McCartan, are you a veteran? Answer yes or no in the chat, please.
Dos Evan.
Dos Evan?
Dos Evan.
I bet he sound like...
I must be really low on that number because I cannot figure this out. So the gap between 270 is only 10 more than the one between... I'm lost. Yeah, I can't. I'm not taking the IQ test. I'm not doing it. I'm struggling with reading right now.
Reading. He's for context, 70 is mentally retarded. 40 is a genius. Peterson says he's 150. The gap between her and Peterson is 10.
Oh,
yeah, so
between 150 and 200. So the 50-point gap between. Okay. And a genius and a retarded person. That's only. That's 70 though. 80, 70. I'm off. Something's off. I'm off or something's off. Something. Anyway, let's
I failed the IQ test.
I fail. Yeah.
Look, we're trying to play. Are you smarter than a Greg Bryant?
I'm a 3. I'm
not smarter than a Greg Bryant.
I'm good. I'm gonna settle for a 60, a nice cozy 60. Now you're good. You're good. We're good. Yeah, I wouldn't have got it anyway. I still wouldn't have got it. I could tell. I'm off. But I did want to get on to a couple of things that Yella brought up into the conversation earlier. My brain is fried right out. Just thinking about that just messed my brain up. You talked about we can't have the conversation if we're not having it from both sides. Or not an actual conversation. Well, actual conversation would have to take in the totality, not just men, also women, but also inherent racism and systemic stuff that causes problems within the black family. Right. If we were to try to separate out just the responsibility or what we have to be accountable for as men, what's our part? Sure, everybody probably has a part, but what is our part?
In what?
In the breakdown of the black family, like Heather and Jordan Peterson were talking about. We got a breakdown in the black family. Let's try what are our parts? I know Yella made it very simple. He said, and I think Bree put it in there in the chat. There were only 3 to 4 reasons. Let me see.
It's right here, man.
Couple not together.
No, it's right here.
He's absent.
Kung Fu ain't that good.
Oh wow.
Kung Fu week, man. So I mean, that's what it is. I tried to get the Shaw Brothers in it. See. Try to get the Shaw Brothers in it and everything. It ain't helping. They can't help.
And see, I tried to break it down even further because the idea of fatherlessness don't necessarily mean that the couple gotta be together. I think we're past that. The whole trying to build this nuclear family thing. I think
you're saying that's done.
Yeah, that's a horse that has been revived and beaten to death again, over and over again. I don't think that's going to change. That's why I say the issue of fatherlessness, because I'm saying if a couple divorce, they have to divorce. They ain't in love no more. They don't. It would be best for them. It would be best for the children if they divorce. It's still not fatherless if he's in their life. You know what I'm saying?
So we'd have to see what they were classifying as fatherless, because they were
Right.
going off the stat talking about out of wedlock, so just unmarried.
Right.
So you're
That's
talking
why.
about whether the
Mhm.
gotcha.
Good. No, I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
No. You were talking. No, I was just trying to figure out I was trying to figure out where the breakdown was.
Right. Right. Because they was just saying out of wedlock. Right. But see, no father in the home. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
You can't make people be together.
And just because it's a child born out of wedlock, don't mean that those people ain't gonna get married either. So
Right.
these are three different conversations. This chick's trying to wrap up into one, and you can't do that because there's
Absent.
different variables. There's different variables in each conversation, though.
Right.
You know
And
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
saying. Yeah. It get weird when we start looking at that, because absent father ain't no father in the home. Absent father mean he absent, meaning he ain't there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to break it. I've heard this stat before. Involved father versus absent father. That's kind of the distinction you're making. He's not living in the home, but he's involved. He's
Mm-hmm.
involved and he's investing.
And according to Oprah, black fathers are the most involved fathers in America.
I've heard that stat.
Oh, hey, listen, Oprah said it, so it must be true.
I've always had a problem with that one.
Yellow. Oprah said it. Yellow.
I don't believe it. I don't
Oprah
believe
said it. Yellow. Come on now. It's Oprah.
She a meddling woman like the rest of them.
She what now?
She's a meddling woman like the rest of them. I don't believe her either. I'm not even trying to hear what she's telling me.
I agree with you now. I'm just saying, Oprah said it, so it has to be true. Has to be. Oprah said it.
It's a great question, Leah. Because when you have these conversations with it, I'm seeing is that everybody's metric when they say a word is going to be different, because the level of involvement that's a spectrum.
Okay. I'm not trying to, I ain't trying to be like that. It can't be that hard to figure out. If there's a group project and you're absent for it, could you have possibly been involved? No, you couldn't have possibly been involved. The only way you would have had to be involved is if you was present. Just not in the home. Being present for the occurrence, which is raising the child. You don't have to be in the home together to raise the child. All you have to do is set the structure. Because at this point, you can't make people be together. We can't tell. You can't tell. You can't tell a man to stay with a family that he don't want to be with. You can't force a woman. You definitely can't force a woman to stay in a relationship, and whether she should be there or not. So that's where it's coming down to it.
I hear what you're saying. But I don't think there's a stat to determine the difference between an absent father and an involved father, because the level of involvement and absenteeism probably morphs and changes throughout the relationship and the duration of the person being a minor. It might be 5 years of heavy investment, and then it might be 2 years where they off, or he had to be away for some reason, or he moved, or the mom moved away from the husband for 5 years, and maybe he moved. I think that's too dynamic of a target to hit.
But then
oh my God, never mind. Y'all missing it. So I don't think we can have the conversation with what you're saying. I don't think we can try to separate. I don't think we can try to have involvement as a criteria. I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Okay.
saying, but the conversation that the lady was having, was absent parent. Like, you do not live in the home with your child. She was saying that the father not being in the home with the child, sleeping in that house, that is a problem, and that's what the whole conversation was about. And I get what you're saying. You may not sleep in the house, but you may have a high level of involvement. You may be showing up every day. You may be walking them to and from school. I get what you're saying, but we don't have any stats for that, or we don't have anything that we can kind of grasp onto to know where we land on that, how pervasive that is, other than the Oprah thing.
So yeah, so it kind of sounds like, so then to me, it kind of sounds like the numbers are set up to portray it in a certain way. Because why do all this research if you're not going to research the details? Because the details matter. That's how you get the real numbers. That's why. That's why when you look at statistics in sports, it ain't just the points per game or something like that. It ain't just the points per game or the rebounds per game. It's like the player efficiency. You know what I'm saying? It'd be stats like win above replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many wins do you get for the person? How many wins are you responsible for above the person who comes in and replaces you when you're absent? If the person who come and replace you when you absent doing better, then you not doing good. That's just like a father who ain't there, and that's another dude that got to come in and take care of it. So regardless of what, as long as you there doing your job, then that's what I'm saying. It's tough to have. I hear you, but it's tough to have the conversation half full then, because why aren't they there?
I got you. So what you're talking about in basketball, they call those advanced analytics. They didn't have those in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. They didn't even use those terminologies a lot of time. Advanced analytics. Black people are not going to garner the type of resources that would get us having advanced analytics that would benefit us. That's just not going to happen unless we do it ourselves. Like, nobody's coming to save us. So advanced analytics are something that we just don't have access to. We're going to have to go with the old box score. Points, rebounds, assists, blocks. Blocks weren't even on there at one point. So, but we still have to keep score. You know what I'm saying? So we may not have access to all the tools of the modern era. We may not have the gym with the jumbotron in it, but we still got hoop. We still out here. So I get what you're saying. It's not without merit. You're absolutely right. Having advanced analytics and knowing where the breakdowns are would give us a more accurate picture of where we are. True. And that goes into what Greg's been saying. A lot of theory can only tell you what you're not and not what you are. So we can't actually peg down exactly where we are. But we know where we're not. And we're not where we need to be. Like, we know we're not there. We know we're not good. But we don't know exactly where we are. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. The theory goes that Black women are staying single because they lose welfare if they get married. Therefore, the fathers are not involved in the child's life. Yeah, the welfare control. She did run with that. And men can't control their libido. They're savages. And they need to be civilized. Absent can't be included in the equation. Otherwise, you're playing the numbers. This dusty lady is not saying anything new. Yeah, so she's running with old ideas. But again, if you believe the stats, we're somewhere north of 70% being born out of wedlock. Now, to add some context to that, when I was studying for something a while ago, I noticed the trend globally is shifting away from marriage and towards cohabitation. So cohabitation is up quite a bit. So there is merit to Yella's point. There are so many more people that are cohabitating than are marrying. So they may be present even in the home, but again, if they're going born out of wedlock, that's not going to account for that. So so again, I want to say I absolutely agree with you what you're saying, Yella. But to have the conversation, we're going to have to go with some baseline. We're just going to have to pick a point. Say this is probably where we're close to, and then go from there. So back to the menses. Back to the Every time I say that word, I remember a woman told me what that was. Back to the men's. Back to the men's. Back to the. If it's as bad as Heather laid it out, if it's on that level, and again, I know most of the people who are problematic in that way are not a part of these conversations. It's never to do with the 5 kids with 3 women that's a part of this conversation for us to have that conversation with. But as far as I don't even know what question to ask, because once I thought about that earlier, I'm like, shoot, that's another problem with all my conversations. Another reason I was kind of frustrated this week, I'm like, none of the people that actually need to hear the conversations are going to be here for the conversations. So it's like, what are we even having the conversation for? It's like the people that like preaching to the choir, and that's kind of fruitless because we all know none of us are out here being idiots. I mean, idiots. You talking about? I mean, no, none of us are out here just like pumping children into the economy, into the system. None of us are doing that. None of us here are doing that. None of the people in the chat are doing that. I mean, to the best of our knowledge, our problems are more idiosyncratic, little small things that we do. You know, being passive aggressive. You know, showing up exactly on time. We have those kind of things. So I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I mean, because let me just read this comment. I'm having a crisis here. Break it up by urban rule, and the whole thing breaks down. When you can walk outside and trip over your over your next dick, the math for staying in a relationship changes. Humans do poorly when they have too many choices. I agree. Paradox of choice. Greg, yikes! You have to stay out of some of the cities. You have to stay out of the cities. Everybody's saying that. I appreciate you, gentlemen. I just don't know. I just don't even know the point anymore, man. Honestly.
Point in what?
I just don't even any of it. Anything.
It does. Nothing matters, man.
It does matter. It matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow and Arshawn, it matters. It does matter. We listen. We can save people. We can help out people, and we can build a community.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't.
No.
I'm sorry. Look, you should have seen the look on his face.
Because my thing is this. This is why I say. This is why I say we not playing the game right.
Yeah.
We not trying to adapt. We trying to fix it and shift stuff and balance stuff out. This is why I'm saying trying to figure out the nuclear family thing and how 70% of us is getting born out of wedlock. Okay, guess what? That's just how Black folks get made. What are we going to do about raising better Black people? That's the trick. Okay, we're not going to be together. Cool. What are we going to do about raising these kids? Because I don't have to be with you. I don't have to be with you. You don't have to be with me. But we do got a kid we got to raise together. Now, we could talk about the maturity of co-parenting. We could talk about improving co-parenting. We could talk about building a better co-parenting system as far as like family court. We could talk about taking initiative to handling your business is trying to figure out a way to co-parent. But that's it. We know the optimal way is to get married. The problem isn't that. The problem is what's gonna happen if marriage don't happen. You see what I'm saying? And we can't even get the relationship part right. That's why like you try to talk about, bro. I've been over that shit. Cause it's the Spider-Man meme. Everybody just pointing the finger at each other. That's why I'm like, I know we wouldn't be able to have this conversation evenly and fairly in whatever Black community this is. Because we would get to the point where we would have to address the mothers keeping the kids away from the fathers, and all hell gonna break loose. All hell gonna break loose. I view that as probably the main speed bump that's kind of preventing us from getting to the point to where it's a balanced parenting situation in whatever community we looking at. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't discount. That's why I'm saying, like, when you count absent, you can't include absent. Can't be included in the equation because it's playing the numbers. Yeah, because if you're just saying a parent that ain't there, how do you count in? Then how do you factor in the fathers that do want to be there? The fathers that have no clue what their children is. Can you imagine being a father have no clue where your child is at all? You go to the court system, you go dealing with them. They don't want to help you find them. It's the runaround. So it's a lot that go into that. So when it's like it don't matter, it don't. Because nobody's ready for the other half of the conversation. We've full on established that dads ain't shit. Deadbeat dads affect the ecosystem in the Black community over and over again. We get that. You can't keep coming back to that. Because what we gonna do about the other side? We can't force no fathers to be there. That's what I'm saying. It gets weird at a certain point. Can't force relationships. You can't force marriage. But if we want to teach something, we could teach co-parent. That's my rant.
Yeah, man, I'm defeated.
Hey, that's cool. Shit, hey, look,
Yeah.
Hey.
You don't hear me arguing with you.
Man.
You don't hear me giving you any pushback or nothing. No, I'm not telling you. No, Arshawn, we can't say that. We can't give up. It's our people. Sir Hill, give up.
Listen.
Sir Hill. Well, then, if that's the case, what do we do? Save as many as you can, while you can, however you can. But if you think you're gonna build you inspire people to build a whole new Black community, don't kid yourself. That's not happening. I think we can get the Black community the way it was, the way it used to be. Why would you want that? We were miserable. No, but our families were together only because they had to be. What do you mean? Well, the second that Black women had another option, they took that. The second they had another option other than their husbands, that's what they took. And they taught their daughters and granddaughters to do the same thing. Get a job. Go to school, get a good education, go to college, get your degree, get you a good job so you don't have to depend on a man. And when you get married, make sure you put some up to the side for yourself just in case it don't work out. Plan for the failure. Plan for your marriage to fail. That's essentially what our women were taught. So, with that being the lesson, and forget it, we didn't teach our girls how to get along with boys. We didn't teach them how to be ladies. We didn't teach them how to be wives. We're not teaching our boys how to think. We're not teaching our boys how to be leaders. We're not teaching our boys how to treat women, how to talk to women, how to properly socialize with human beings in general. We don't teach them stoicism because largely we don't know about stoicism. So how is the uneducated going to educate somebody? You know? So we're a mess. Are you ready for me to stop, Arshawn? Is that what we're doing?
Nah, I tapped out. That's on me.
He tapped out.
That's on me.
So my thing. So it says that So don't kid yourself with the real solution. It will never happen. That's right. Don't kid yourself with a real solution. It's never going to happen. B9. Don't at this point, a real solution for the black community. Now, individuals, yes, you can solve for that. But a whole black community, that ain't happening. It's not happening.
Nope.
Because the second we start working towards that, something else is going to come up. And it's going to drive us apart. We hate each other. We don't trust each other. We don't. It's just like with women. Women hate each other. Let's be real. Women hate each other. And it's the same with black people in general. We treat each other like absolute shit. But we trust the white man's word. Ain't that right, William? How many times have you all heard, okay, you tried to tell somebody something, or you heard someone try to tell another person something, and then the other person doesn't listen, then they're like, okay, that's cool, let a white man tell you. I bet you believe it then. How many times y'all heard that? There's something to, yeah, it's said in jest, but it's something to that. Because it had to come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You always heard the white man's ice is colder. When I hear that phrase, when I hear that joke, that's where I hear it.
You think the white man ice is colder. That kind of nonsense. And see, we got all this up in my head. And the N-word. I just showed you that Japanese show. That was a pilot for an actual show. It was a real pilot. No bullshit that they were trying to put on the air. We're a joke worldwide.
Let's all quit then. Nah, B9, how about this? Let's just quit doing that.
Right. There you go.
Let's just quit doing that.
Everything.
Let's just quit doing that. Like, you can stop something you started and it be okay. You don't have to try to complete every mission you started. I think this is one of them side missions that we ain't never gonna get because we didn't create like a emblem or something. Like, we missed an early side mission. You know what I'm saying?
Where we had to craft something.
But we had to craft something, right? We had to craft like a goblet or like a emblem or something like that, and we didn't take the mission, and now it's like we didn't play the game like 20 hours and shit, and now it's like we get here to this other side mission, and we really want this fucking goblet. We really want.
He's supposed to craft a goblet.
Right. But now we can't go back to and do that side mission again.
Oh, right. We use resources on something else.
We just lost it.
Right. Because that goblet is made out of this special metal that you only found at the level just before you were supposed to. You're never gonna find that piece of metal again. So we sold
the metal. We sold the metal for the cloak. We wanted to fly cloak. We wanted to fly cloak. We had to get that cloak, man. Had that gold tassel. Oh man, I gotta get that cloak, man. Let me sell this elf metal. Let me sell this elf metal so I get this cloak.
This rare elf metal.
Oh my god.
This ain't for nothing. I don't have nothing for this right now. Fuck, who wants a goblet? Who needs a goblet?
I ain't thirsty.
Oh man, I got a water satchel. Who needs a goblet? Come on,
man.
That's where we at. Like, we can give up on that side mission. We can give up on that. We can go back to the main story. we can complete the main story though. Right. We can complete the main story.
So okay. Here's the thing, B9. Just for the sake of clarification. The reason why I say I say we're not gonna have a black community because there are not enough people who care enough to do the work to build one to make a difference. There's just, at any given time, there's just not enough of us who are willing to do the work to make the difference, man. It's just not enough. You know, I mean, Pine Bluff, Arkansas is a miracle. In my opinion, because that's the next Black Wall Street. That's what they call it anyway. And it is a marvel to see. Black doctors, black police chiefs, black city council members. And that's the thing. They got into the politics. All black political cabinet. They got power and control over that area. That's how you do it. Any other place in the country, ain't enough of us willing to even run for office. We don't want the job. That's the thing. So this whole thing about a black community, it's just simply not enough of us to make a difference.
Listen, I figured it's gonna be my last show for a while. Let Chaotic Truth just make the last show. Period. Let's go ahead and get a.
Depends on what he says. It depends on the mood. What mood the brother's in, man.
And shout out to Ty Libra. Shout out to who else stepped in that I didn't get to speak to. Real Serious B. Shout out to Fed Up Southern Girl, and we got Chaotic Truth Live passing through. I appreciate you, but that's the link. You can come up, but yeah, we just getting ready to wrap up because I don't have any answers. I know I'm not smart enough to solve a macro. I don't have any macro solutions, and I know everything has to be on the micro level. You have to do what's best for you and your family. But the divide I was having in my mind, man, what just really just hit me was like the people that need to hear it aren't going to listen, and I know that, and I knew that, but it's like. There's no point in talking to people that aren't a part of the problem. What's the point? What's the point?
Well,
like if Yella's in Chicago, there's no point in me. I'm telling Yella in Chicago, don't walk outside because it's raining in Columbus. Yella's not gonna get caught in the rain. But I'm on here with you from Alabama. He's in Chicago. Neither of y'all gonna get caught in the rain that I'm seeing. Y'all not threatened by it. So we end up spending a lot of time. We spend a lot of time. I have spent a lot of time. I just feel like I wasted a lot of time. Anyway. But yeah, y'all got me. Y'all got me today.
Hey man, listen. You see, he tapped. Our show says he tapped out.
But again, I'm not even trying to put it on y'all. I started today behind. I started today at a deficit mentally and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but if Chaotic is not coming up, we can get ready to head out macro. American Divorce, macro.
You have to start solving for the micro instead of the macro.
Have a great night. We got Chaotic Truth live in the building. Hello, sir. How you doing today?
The Chaotic Truth.
What's up, man? I just came back from a run. I saw that you guys were live, and I saw the title, and I thought I can give my input before you log off, man. Salute to you, Urshan. What's up, Yellow Pill? Coffee. What's up, Mandrill? Thank you for coming through earlier today, Mandrill.
No problem.
Well, listen, man. You know, I don't have any children, and I don't plan on having any children. You know, I think only the best should breed. And that should tell you a lot, you know. The thing about the Black father, from what I've seen, is Black men, and I've seen this, it would appear, and I could be wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. It would appear that a lot of Black dudes will have children for sport. And that's what I've observed. And I've even heard men say, I want to have 2 and 3 more kids, all the while he's walking out a child support hearing. It's nonsense. And I don't know where this comes from. Maybe it's some primal urge. Or maybe a lot of men, particularly Black men in the West, are glutton for punishment. But when the child comes, I feel like that's when reality hits a lot of men. And I really feel as though it's not that Black men are bad fathers, because that's not the case. It's Black men since the 70s, I believe. And I don't have any stats or data to prove this, but it would appear that Black men are really having children with women that they don't want to have children with. Black men, from what I've seen, are hypersexual. And what is the evidence of this? Rap music. Rappers talk about having promiscuous sex like it's like going to eat candy. Movies, Black movies.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but if you, I don't want to mess you up by laughing, but he played a video earlier with his white woman called it the savage libido of black men. She literally said that.
Yeah.
And so you said that, man. It just brought us back to that. We just,
it's it's again, man. You generally want to be around the woman of your child that you love, and a lot of men have children with women that they don't love. And I think that's why it's so hard for men to be in the lives of children. And I have seen this too when I worked in probation. A lot of women, they play cat and mouse with those kids with the man too. They don't want those men around too sometimes. So it's, like I said, man, the first thing I believe, and if this were to happen, you're going to see a steep reduction in childbirth amongst blacks. But black men need to pick and choose or select. Okay, I'm just going to say it. They need to marry the women before they have children. And I believe that will fix the problem. And I see where Greg is talking about everybody is horny, but I was in college, man. The white girls, the white boys, they partied all damn day. About the time they 22, 23, they were married. A lot of them were married. Now, I'm not saying that whites are perfect because they've even fallen off. But you gotta marry the woman you're having children with, man. And you gotta love her, And I'm just an ape living on a rock in infinity. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but this is what I've seen in nature. So I've been a master at not having children because I believe that you don't want to bring your children into hell, and a lot of people are bringing their children into hell. I worked in social services as a case manager before. I was a teacher, and I could tell you, man, a lot of these kids are being bought into unfair conditions because of poor patterns of sexual behavior. And I am I shame people, even to their face, and I'll shame you. If like when I was a case manager, women were, I can't take care of my kid. We shouldn't be having sex. Shouldn't be having sex. I'm not. I don't care. I don't have a tissue for you because you shouldn't have 3 and 4 kids. I knew a girl, and thank you so much, Arshawn, for letting me rock it out. I knew a girl. She was on my caseload. She was morbidly obese. She had her son was on my caseload, and she had just had a baby girl. I go into her unit or her apartment. It's filthy. It's dirty. No man involved. She has video games on the screen for her kid, her son. The house is stinking. She had a cat. And I told her, I said, this is shameful. Now, if you were living like this by yourself, that's fine. But now you have 2 human beings in this reality that are at a disadvantage. And you got a cat? No, you don't need to have a pet, and you don't need to have children at all. Because these kids are going to grow up without a father, without structure, because there's no marriage. And this little boy that's on my caseload might possibly grow up to rob my ass at the ATM. I don't want that to happen. I told her. I got fired, but I told her. I didn't get fired for that specific event, but I got canned because I used to keep it real, and I keep it real with blacks because I care about niggas. Arshawn, care about niggas, man. And people say, how come you don't say these things about white people? Well, I don't give a about whites for real. I mean, I rock with them. I love them. I'm going to celebrate White History Month in July. But other than that, I don't really, hey, man, I'm not white. Maybe if I was white, I would, talk more about white socioeconomic problems. But the black father, where are they? The black father, unfortunately, is in a system where women can weaponize children, weaponize sex, weaponize the courts. And I've seen it. I've seen good black men get stroked. I'm telling you, good black men get stroked in courts. A man that wants to be with the kid, and a woman, she, crazy, and she wants to get those benefits or whatever, how it works. But me, hey man, I'm yeah. And yeah, I can't do it. Now I am married, but we're not having any children. But go ahead, Arshawn. What say you about? Are you a father, Arshawn?
No, no.
Did you
Multiple
ever get
reasons.
beatings as a kid from your father?
No, thankfully, no. No beatings from my father,
Okay.
but a lot of absence. A lot of absence.
Yeah, my
Got
dad
beat
used
with
to.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
beat
ahead.
with that absence. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I got beat with belts, occasionally an extension cord, by both parents. But go ahead. Go ahead. Seriously. Boom. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mandro, I know,
yeah.
Mandro, you were a good kid growing up, right?
Yeah, but I still got ass whoopings. Well, hey, when you misbehave, you go get belts, switches.
You know, if I had children, I don't think that I for some reason we're soft, our generation. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could just hit a kid for some reason.
Right.
Yeah, like
I was a good kid, yeah, but hey, still got ass whoopings.
Yeah. So Arshawn, you said your father was absent.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, so I'm everything you said. I can't really argue too much about a lot of the things. That's a lot of the stuff you said came out in the clip. There was a Heather McDonald. Heather McDonald was speaking with Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
and she pretty much said everything that you said. It just felt different coming from Heather McDonald, just because she's pro police. And a lot of other things, so she's the myth of the racist cop is one of her essays. So a lot of y'all might have some views in common, but it just lands different. But we all know that the problems are present in the community. I mean, we can't. It's undeniable. It's undeniable that some of the stuff you're talking about, it would only be emotional to deny that these are problems that we're having. All the stats bear it out. Our lives bear it out. Our families, we see it. The disassembled family structure.
Do you think? And go Cavs, by the way, man. That's a good shirt you got. Are you from Cleveland?
Nah.
Okay. Do you think? And Mandro, do you think that when the Negro moved from the South during the Great Migration and started working in more industry, most blacks were sharecroppers. Do you think that kind of added to the broken down? Because, black people used to get married back in the day before the Great Migration. Do you think, the industrialization and modernity caused the breakup of the household too, in the black household especially? There were no social workers in the 1920s. I don't think it was. It was just Negroes lived together in farming communities, rural communities.
Well, I don't think there's any evidence that there is, but it might have been a contributing factor. Because all right, so you move to Detroit and you start working for General Motors, or something like that, right? Okay, you're making a lot more money than you would as a sharecropper.
Yeah.
So you can afford more. So let's say you get a woman pregnant, you shoot a couple of dollars every now and again. You still got your place, you got her place, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you have access to more, you tend to make different decisions than if things were either urgent or you have limited options. And I agree with you when you say the more options people have, the worse decisions they tend to make. They do.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said they still got married. What I'm saying is post the Great Migration. That's what in the person in the comment section. If I said it wrong, or if you misinterpreted me wrong, I'm talking about post Great Migration, when blacks started moving to Cali, started moving to Michigan, Chicago. It's almost like that's when the breakdown of not only black family structures broke down, but also white. I feel like when you're in a rural area, everybody. There's an expectation that you got to stay married. But I feel like a large city, you could break up. And it's a million people there. All right, but I feel like if you're in a smaller little town, I feel like it's a thing of shame if you broke up, if you got a divorce or something. Because now it's like the town knows they're unstable right now. you know. But I don't know, man. I mean, I just have a lot of ideas.
The losses get absorbed into a larger pool of people.
Right, right,
man,
right. So let me ask you a question. Now I don't know if you guys are religious, but do you also think it was the breakdown of the church as well? Listen, to a degree, I feel like the church does hold the community together, particularly the black community. Maybe when black men stop going to church as well. I don't know, man. I think it's a lot of factors. I don't believe it's just LBJ and his policies and welfare.
There's no thinking to it. Chaotic. There are a lot, almost overwhelming amount of factors that led into this. That's why I call it the greatest. It is the greatest accomplishment. America, United States of America, is the greatest accomplishment in in social engineering in the history of mankind.
I agree.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? So there are a lot, and you can be here a week just listing off things that contributed to this, you know. And tell you what, though, sitting around on panels pointing out problems ain't gonna fix it. I think we'd be better off debating solutions to them.
Well, I feel
you know
like
what I'm saying? Like if we bring up a problem, here's the solution. I think it is. What do you think? You know, what do you think about a solution? You know.
Well, I feel like, you know, we're no different than Fox News, than CNN, etc. You know, they have panels.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're doing the same thing. We're reporting what's happening in the community.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But to a degree, it's still good. I mean, now you get more street cred if you did field work, like, you know, Change My Mind, what Steven Crowder does, or Jesse Lee Peterson, what he's done with his organizations. Yeah. But I think it's productive what we're doing.
It is, because at least people are thinking about it. Because if people are talking about it, they're at least thinking about it. But in your everyday life, before the pandemic, people weren't even talking about this kind of stuff. Not in mass like they are now. On a massive scale, it is now, because people are forced to sit down. Nothing else going on. They couldn't work because jobs are closed. Everything was closed because of the pandemic. So people were supposed to sit down. They got on YouTube and it's like, oh my goodness, look at this conversation. They started engaging, you know. But you're gonna have to. It's gonna take a multi-pronged approach if we are to fix it. It's like I said earlier. I just don't think there are enough people interested and willing enough to do the work it's gonna take to actually fix what happened.
Yeah, I really believe. Now, Arshawn, you're about 25, 26.
Wow.
I mean, I'm 43.
You're 43?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you look way younger than that. Oh wow, dude.
Wow.
You look really young. Okay, wow, you older than me.
He gets it all the time, man. He does
all the time.
He gets it all the time.
I think it's the fact that you have no kids, man. That's probably why you look so young.
I agree.
That might be
unfortunately, and I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. We live in hell to a degree. America's the greatest country on the planet. I love America. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Well, maybe Singapore. But you have now the LGBT community. They have a lot of power. Being a straight man is deemed as hyper masculinity, especially a straight white man. Man, Joe, you were on my panel earlier today, and you even heard. Did you hear Angry Snowman? Here goes a white guy. He's ashamed of the accomplishments of his own people to a degree, where he says, "Oh, we don't have to." Did you hear Did you hear him say that? I said we should do White History Month. He said we don't need a month. I said, see, that's the shame of it all. A black man wants to do a White History Month, and you say that we don't need it, sir. Yes, you do now, because the white man is disenfranchised now. See, yeah, I get what he was saying. Oh, yeah, we don't need to do it. We don't brag about the accomplishments of our ancestors. I get that, but you need to do it now, because the straight man, the straight black man, the straight white man is being disenfranchised. And Mandro, you being in the military, you see anti-American sentiment right now with a large portion of the population. So it's chaos. So you being a man saying, I'm going to raise my family, I'm gonna be a God-fearing man, people will look at you like you're crazy. Isn't that that's wild? I'm proud of America. I want to. People will look at you like you're crazy, and that's another thing about this country. You know, you have panels of women that say, you have cam up Blackhearted with New Growth, so cam up. You have pockets of women who are saying that there's nothing wrong with single family households. Imagine you are a man and you want to raise a family, and the woman you're with, she has sisters, friends who are telling her this poison. And like most humans, you tend to pick up on what people say, and then she might start thinking that, like, I don't need him in my life. He want to marry me, girl. What that nigga think he is? And that's another thing that's happening too, if you catch my drift. So you got a lot of ideology out right now, a lot of witchcraft. I did shows on this, Arshawn. Witchcraft now. Yeah.
Hey, just real quick. Now you didn't say anything disrespectful. I mean, you just said cam up. But as far as the chat goes, if you have a question or like a comment, feel free to make it. But like, don't challenge them in such a direct manner. Like, if there's no reason for them to cam up, like you say that disenfranchised by whom? Tell them who they're disenfranchised by. But like, just take the comments from the chat in good faith, and then move like in that.
Let me answer this question. Well, let me answer this person. The white man has been disenfranchised. Look at look how many white men have been Me Too in the last 5 years. Look at how many white men who have to walk on eggshells at their own companies because of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Look how many white men are forced, even this old senile fool of a president we have right now, he has to walk on eggshells and tiptoe around like he didn't create the crime bill, and like he wasn't the most racist person on the planet. Now he has to pretend that, all of a sudden now he accepts trans people and all this nonsense now, when in fact he is the very same racist person that he's trying to say that America is the other day when he said America has a white supremacy problem. Even he has to walk on eggshells. Even he has to answer to the LGBT community. When back in the day, if this was 40 years ago, Biden would have said kiss off with that LGBT nonsense. Yeah, but if you're gay in the chat, I'm not trying to knock you. I'm just giving an example.
I mean, to be fair, chaotic. I mean, the guy clearly has dementia.
Yeah,
like how he got elected. I don't know.
He got elected because of, again,
that was an anti-Trump vote. That's all that was.
Yeah,
the last election. People just
he's not going to make it to a second term.
No, probably not.
And there should be either an age limit or a cognitive test or something.
I thought there was one, but apparently not. It's just an election. But I hear what you're saying with the whole Me Too thing, and this is a situation that they created. I mean, who's created exactly? I don't know, but I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, people are going, I'm gay. I'm like, so good for you. You know what I'm saying? People keep moving the credit for things. It's great. Now, White History Month. I mean, but they got 11 of them. Like, that's my thing, because that's not my first time hearing someone propose a White History Month. I was like, yeah, they got 11 of them. Like, it'd be different if you merge Black history with just American history.
Yeah,
I would say, okay, look, what are we doing here? Why Black History Month? You know what I'm saying? And no school curriculum has picked up on that yet. That's the amazing part. I think that's the incompetence of our elected officials. So a lot of these problems are easy fixes. We'll just say, hey, we'll include Black history in American history because it is American history. Black people have voted for you for 80 years. Okay? He included us. And so things like that. And it's just like, okay, why is no one thinking about this? And they don't.
Man, Gerald, people will say that White History Month is every month. I get that. But I think July should be a symbolic month, because what month just feels white, just looks white? It's July. I'm telling you, man.
Well, white and American, yeah, the 4th of July and all that. Yeah, the old bicentennial thing going. Yeah.
Listen, this man has ushered in the Industrial Revolution, the computer age, and now you got Negroes on YouTube lying, talking about they invented the car. Next thing you know, man, Drill, Negroes are going to be lying, saying that they invented Chat GPT. See, you got to have this special month.
Black men, the only way something that sophisticated and that fantastic can be invented is if a black man did it.
Yeah.
And you know it. They steal all our patents.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of, and that's why I say it's important to have White History Month as a constant reminder.
Everybody, I'm trolling.
I
don't
know.
mean that.
Just list everything these people have done every month. So that's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, if that's what they do, I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? History is important because you don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. I'm all for that, and learning where you come from, that is a contributing factor to where you go in the future. You know what I mean? Because who knows? A kid might learn something in history and pick up on an invention that Nikola Tesla left off on, an idea, and come up with something like quantum power, right? Which would be revolutionary. And in fact, the U.S. government would actually steal that technology. I would have no doubt they either bring you an 18-wheeler full of money, or they just flat out steal it. They're not going to let you. You invented quantum energy. They're not going to let you have it. Here's an 18-wheeler full of $100 bills. Have it right now. We'll take the patent. Thank you. American government, yes. Because if you come up with quantum energy, dude, can you imagine the power you have? You could shut off all electricity on the whole planet if you want to. Or turn the lights on or off wherever you want to, whenever you want to. Bruh. But I'm just saying, like, that's why history is important in my opinion. Who knows what you might pick up, you might learn from the past and pick up on and carry into the future.
Yeah.
There's always that possibility, no matter how minute. But as far as white history, black history, if it's American history, it should be taught. Okay. That's my thing about it when it comes to history. Is it like George Washington Carver? That's American history. That was fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Eli Whitney. Hey, listen.
Eli Whitney's a good one. Yeah.
You're right. Teach that. That's American history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Black History Month, I get the appeal of it. Yeah. And I get the significance of it because it had been left out of the American, history books for so long. My thing is, okay, let's just include it.
What is the? I asked this earlier today. What is the greatest achievement of the white man? I said the Industrial Revolution. But what do you think is the greatest achievement, sir?
I say it's the civil engineering of the U.S. United States.
Oh yeah, you already said it earlier, right?
Listen, social engineering of the United States. That is, in my opinion, that's the greatest accomplishment. Because look at how well it worked. Wow. I mean, you listen. You can have a politician tell you, "Hey, I'm going to lock more of you up in jail. You can read exactly what I'm writing up. This is going to hurt, and I'm doing it to help you." Even though when you read it, you're like, "No, this ain't. I don't see how this is helping. I don't see how this is. Explain to me how this is going to help." Well, just read the bill; it'll tell you everything else. Later, they can pretty much tell you to kiss off, and they'll convince you to vote for it just because you're a Democrat. And you gave you gave one ethnicity the right to vote. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. Like 40, 50 years ago. And you're still that loyal. Wow. When just before that vote, before civil rights and the Voting Rights Act, you voted the opposite direction. forever. Like, you supported the Republican Party since the Civil War, but then comes the 1960s, you completely switch sides, and there's no mixture. You stayed loyal to that one side all the time, even though they've done hardly anything to help you since the 60s. They've done nothing productive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, what? Is this magic? And they'll get on TV and tell you, like there's been times the Democrats got on and told you, Republicans too. They'll get on TV and tell you what they're gonna do, and then people support it. I'm like,
It's
just like
chaotic and Mandrill. Pause. I want to say what's up to New Growth Old Soul, and again, thank you the other day for the contribution. I did get that, and I really appreciate you, sir, for supporting the channel. Let's get you into the conversation. You had a question for chaotic truth in the chat. Go ahead and bring up your point or your question, however you feel, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. What's up, everybody? What's up to the chat? I was just saying that I think a lot of times when we talk about history, we have been bombarded with so much of other people's perspective or these documentaries. We do a lot of watching and not a lot of research, not a lot of studying, right? So when we sit up here as if we're scholars on a certain things, a lot of people down African American studies, right? And I don't think that's something you should go to college for, spend a big money for, but they actually study. I just want to know how many of us are actually studying our history instead of taking snapshots and running with those narratives without even knowing the whole full, context of it. Like you were saying that. What were you saying, brother? You were saying that that when the blacks moved up north, the marriage rate decreased, right? And the Great Migration. So when do you consider the Great Migration happen? Around the 20s, right? The 20s, 30s?
About the 30s. I said it didn't happen during that time. I said post the Great Migration.
Right.
Post.
But it was actually post the 1960s when the black
Yeah,
marriage
well,
rate.
yeah. I mean, it's still
but
post
that's 30 years. That's like almost 2-3 generations.
Still posted. I was basically offering a question. Could it be that the moving away from rural conditions into bigger cities was there some sort of breakdown in the family, because for the first time ever, black people were working in large scale industry, so they were leaving the home. They weren't just sharecropping anymore. They were going to factories. They were, they're making more money now. They can do more with money. Maybe, and that's all I was saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You were saying something about the White History Month, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Can't
wait to celebrate that. Yeah.
The disenfranchisement of white people and white men, especially.
White straight men, not white people. White women have all the power. Yeah, but go ahead.
And I can kind of agree with you with that to a certain degree. But my question was, who did that to them?
This is the beauty of white culture, especially Western white culture. They are a culture of human rights. They are a culture of, literally things that happen in Western white cultures would never happen in East Asian countries, Eastern European countries, and for damn sure Middle Eastern countries. So the white man, he has some freaks for kids. He has some freaks in society, and he says, "Hey, man, you guys can have. If you guys vote for it, you could make policy. You guys have the power." And we clearly see that in society now. I mean, from the appointment of a transgender, I forgot which cabinet in the government, you got a affirmative action hiree, appointee vice president. You have DEI, diversity and inclusion and equity, or diversity, equity, and inclusion in almost every sector, education, whatever. Look at Bud Light. Look at not Adidas. Look what they did. They are literally telling freaks that, guys, you can represent our brands. Nobody can, because we're gonna back you with advertising revenue. We're gonna back you with support. Nobody can talk about you. And look at what we have now. We have people fighting for transgender or cross-dressers to read books to children. And if you questioned it as a straight man, you're looked at as crazy. That's why I was saying I couldn't be a father. See, listen, I'm not gonna tell you my height. I'm under 6 foot. But even me, if I had a kid and they said, Dad, we were at school and dude with a dress on was reading to us. See, I'm going up to the school and I'm about to put my hands around somebody's neck. But go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
See, I mean, I hear you, brother, and I understand what you're saying. That's your opinion. That's the way you feel about it, right? All of us have our different opinions. My question still wasn't answered.
What's your question?
How did they become disenfranchised? If they were the pinnacle of power in America since its inception, who disenfranchised them? What group knocked them off? Because usually it's an invasion of some other group. Us as the blacks, we didn't do it, right? Asians didn't do it. No other group did it. So could it be that they did it to themselves? Could it be that they're kind of reaping what they sow? So why would we give them a White History Month? Why are they not being? They're not reaping the fruits of their labor.
Well,
what they've done.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this: they do deserve a White History Month because what I see down the pipeline is the erasing or the erasure of Western culture, which is the greatest culture ever in the history of mankind. And I'm the Negro whisperer. I'm the Sammy Bull of the Pan-African people, these pro-blacks. I will snitch and tell on a lying Negro in a heartbeat. See, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of Negroes 5 years from now saying on panels that black people created Chat GPT. See, in 5 years, you're going to have black people saying stupid stuff like, we run the semiconductor industry.
Hold on, can I
need a White History Month because that month will codify. It will, you have books. Hey, this is what white people have done. That month is symbolic because it is a codification of the greatness of white people and their culture. Yeah, we know white history is every day. Okay, sure. But that month has to be special. It needs to be billboards, White History Month. Did you know that whites did this?
Do you really want a White History Month, brother?
Of course.
Do you want to know? Do you know that this guy slaughtered over such and such? Do you know this guy
and black people?
Did you know that these people said manifest destiny? They don't want it. You the only one that want it.
New Growth. White people are not the only individuals on the planet who've practiced genocide.
We're not saying that is. They were.
Okay. Other groups of people have too. Just 30 years ago, the Hutu practiced genocide against the Tutsis. I dated girls from Rwanda.
They played a part in it.
Okay.
They played a part.
Hey, can I pause y'all both real quick? I gotta ask Chaotic a question, man, because this is killing me. It's killing me. It's cracking me up. It's not killing me. It's just making me laugh. Like you complained about the cross dressers, like wanting to read the children. Like the advocacy for a cross-dresser or transgender person wanting to be visible. Like it strikes me strange. There may not be a point to this, but it strikes me funny to hear you asking for a White History Month. Like that's more far-fetched. Like because you're not even part of the demographic that you're championing. Like at least the transgender's a transgender. So it's just interesting, you're far-fetched for wanting to advocate for themselves, but then you're like, I'm going to advocate for these people.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm advocating for whites, particularly straight white men, because of not only what their ancestors accomplished, I mean, mapping out the globe, mapping the stars. Their antiquity speaks for itself. Did you guys know that there are Greek cities of antiquity in Afghanistan? You should look this up. This white man was going throughout the planet thousands of years ago, introducing civilization, Western civilization, and he's doing it now. If it were not for the white man, we wouldn't have a toilet. We wouldn't have sewage systems, electrical grids. I could go on. And God knows we wouldn't have any computers. This man has gone to not the stars, but he's gone to space, at least the Earth's lower atmosphere. I would even argue that he even went to the moon. A lot of people don't believe that. The accomplishments that this man has done is limitless, and the fact that these people are being played is absurd to me. So that's why I'm advocating for a White History Month. Go ahead.
Got you. Nah, that I understand what you're saying. You're like retroactive greatness. You're trying to pay people for the greatness that they've exhibited. Like, you know, when they sign somebody to a contract, you've performed well all these years. I'm going to reward you for your greatness.
And the young man, New Growth, he mentioned genocide. Well,
I didn't mention that.
You didn't. I swear you mentioned Manifest Destiny, which
okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. 90+% of the people on the planet were savages, for the most part. For savages. Living in mud huts, hollowed out trees. Most people on the planet. Not just Africans, but most people. Western civilization introduced the scientific method, which thus introduced a scientific method, thus ushering in hospitals, ushering in courts, not just you could laugh all you want, but it's the truth.
Oh, I'm not laughing at you.
I'm talking about New Growth, not you, Arshawn. New Growth. It ushered in so many great institutions that we still benefit off today. See, I respect people like New Growth because he's allowing me to talk. You know, a lot of people cut me off during panels. There are people in Africa. They represent less than 1% of the population. My God, there are savages still walking around with plates in their lips. Ugh, my God. That just shows you the ignorance that existed in Africa. The white man came in there and said, what are y'all doing? And look at the level of civilization that they've accomplished. Talking about the people with plates in their lips. People got mad at me because on my channel, I was making fun of this lady who was talking in click-clack language in Southern Africa. He was like, people were mad at me. And I said, that language is inferior. Well, how do you know it's inferior, Chaotic? Well, did that language build skyscrapers? Did that language put a man on the moon? Did that language build paved roads? Did that language build hospitals? No. These primitive people were talking like that thousands of years ago and accomplished nothing. And they've accomplished nothing now. So instead of doing Black history, we gotta do white history. Because these people, I'm talking Western white people, look at the cathedrals that they built 1,000 years ago. The Colosseum of Rome. And think about it, the Colosseum of Rome. Aqueducts, bathhouses. That's why there should be a white history. Because obviously doing it every day ain't working for you. It has to be one specific month. And I'm telling you, when Negroes are driving off the exit, they should see electronic billboards. And it should show great whites of the past. But go ahead, though.
So let me ask you this. So now you're bringing up white history. I thought we were talking about American history, right? But you're going to bring up the white history of all time, how subjective and skewed it is. I'm not going to hold you to that. That's your opinion. We have different opinions. But when we talk about Black History Month here, right? Have you ever brought up about ancient Kemet and all of this stuff, that all of the things we did? Is that taught in our? Because I know you always say you were a teacher, right? Right, brother?
Sir, not only am I a teacher, I've done live streams. Literally, you should go to my channel. I literally have done live streams on ancient Egypt and how Black people should go back to how we once were when we ruled Egypt. I literally have done shows like that. Yes, blacks were impressive in Egypt. They were impressive in Nubia. They built temples. They built obviously pyramids, you know. Yeah, of course. So of course I've talked about that. Yeah, I've talked about that.
Okay, now I was just talking about, you said we need a White History Month, right?
White people need to. Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Americans, right? Or are you talking about the world as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, America.
Okay, because I always was under the impression that American history talked about the accomplishments in America, right? So you're talking about things that done other places, because we don't explore that when we talk about Black History Month. We don't explore things that we've done around the world.
Well,
right?
I mean, other than Egypt, the black man didn't really do nothing but build fishing boats.
I mean,
but
we don't even talk about Egypt, right?
Yeah,
we don't even talk about Egypt in Black History Month, right?
You got the Great Wall in Zimbabwe, but other than that, I mean, to be honest with you, man, blacks were agrarian for the most part, and most people on the planet were. I mean, hell, the Chinese were agrarian for a long portion of their history. You know, it wasn't up until 50 years ago these rice eaters started building massive cities and impressive cities. Right. But the fact is that listen, you guys are lighter than me. You guys, see, I'm pure black. I don't know what you guys are. If I'm giving these crackers their kudos, I think most people should. I'm not saying you should be in a circle with them talking like this at a bonfire. Hey, wait, man. Yeah, I just love you white people. No. But to go along with the title about the Black fathers is a level of structure. And this structure is being broken because we are allowing ills of society to destroy Western civilization, which thus affects Black culture as well, or Black American households. Because we are allowing homosexuality to destroy the community. And I'm talking about American society. We're allowing all these evils to destroy. Please forgive me if anybody's, homosexual in the chat, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
Absolutely.
Drug usage. Drug usage is another one. That's another one. A lot of drug usage.
But the
alcohol. These things destroy the community. They do. But go ahead.
Oh shoot. Y'all
Let me ask you this. Do you guys think that the aqueducts in ancient Europe were being built by people who were drunk? No. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
And look at this. Who are the most drunk white people on the planet? Stereotypically. The Irish, right? What did the Irish accomplish compared to the Germans? Think about it. The Irish drank so much that what's reflected in their society is a lack, and that's why they were conquered, or the Scot, whatever they were. That's why they were conquered. They were too busy drinking and partying, And a small group of island whites with a mission came over there and conquered them and made them a vassal state.
Yo,
it's the truth. So,
God.
What I'm saying is that there's a lot of things about Western culture that I love, and we need to do this. White History Month, and particularly Western civilization.
Yeah, so everybody, please contact your alderman, your senator, your House of Reps. Contact every office. We need to get White History Month on the books.
Yeah,
and Calichu said July, so I do want to get everybody's last words. But thank you, white man, and everything that you've done for me and everybody up. I speak for everybody here today when I say thank you, Mr. White Man.
Yeah.
And for your Western civilization. It has been a boon to society. So thank you for critically drinking. And everybody that's here, anybody whose face you see, I'm speaking for them as well. Anybody whose red hat you see, I also speak.
You New Growth brought up Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Now, New Growth,
I didn't bring up Egypt. Oh yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
real
Go ahead.
quick,
I'm sorry.
hey, before y'all go, before you go, I know you want to ask me another question. Like one of you gentlemen, please, if you'd like to, go ahead and hit the live when I'm getting ready to head out. So if either of you want to get your, your last thoughts, let's start. Last man in, first man out. New growth. If you want to get like some closing thoughts, then we'll go.
Yeah.
Then Mandrill, Yella. We'll work it. We'll work reverse snake.
Once again, I just appreciate being up here with y'all, man. Sean, you the dude. Check you out all the time. I just felt this was interesting, so I made my appearance. But all I'm saying is, man, everybody contributed, man. Everybody contributed. Everybody will, from the negative to the positive, right? But let's not get fixated on romanticizing about one particular group and demonizing another. Like that's not productive for none of us. If we all gonna survive, we're gonna have to survive together. Maybe not on the same team, but we're gonna have to do our thing. So just make sure whatever you doing, whatever you promote, making sure that it's gonna be the best for children and mankind for years to come. Other than that,
man, I appreciate you, New Growth Old Soul. And again, man, check out New Growth Old Soul's channel. He put a couple comments in the chat. I really enjoyed his. There was 2 series. I can't remember the one, but I know Paper Thin is always going to stick with me because him and they collaborated on the concept. So they had Paper Thin talked about things such as marriage certificates, the Bible, money, things that we put a lot of value in that actual have that value that's paper thin. So I really enjoyed that production. So man, appreciate you, New Growth Old Soul. Chaotic Truth. If you would give us your final thoughts.
New Growth mentioned something very interesting. He had mentioned Egypt. He had asked me, do I ever talk about Egypt? I do. But I have to point something out about Egypt. I'm almost willing to bet for the thousands of years that Egypt existed, the masses of the people didn't know how to read and write. In fact, I believe that was the reason probably why Egypt eventually fell. The beauty of Western civilization is that information is also free. I don't think that the average Egyptian farmer knew how to read hieroglyphs. I don't think so. So what I'm saying is that Western civilization, it educated the peasants. We're peasants in the grand scheme of things. We're peasants. We're commoners. But in most civilizations throughout the world, the common classes of people weren't given free education up until recent times. Or, that was for the elites, for the royal classes, for the priesthood. And that's another reason why I love Western civilization. Because if this was thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt, we probably wouldn't even know how to read what was on the damn temples. Go ahead, guys.
Man, go ahead. Man, Drill, if you're present, man, I'd like you to get your closing thoughts in, my good guy.
Yeah. This is a dope conversation. You're right, Arshawn. It does hit different when white people say it. Talk about these issues. It actually does hit different. I'm from Alabama. Yeah, it's gonna hit me differently because I've don't like it. And the thing is, conversations like this should be happening between black people. However, we don't talk about it, so we can't get mad when we see white people talking about it. Because people are going to get mad at that conversation when they see it. That's why I say that. They're going to get pissed. And like I said, I might do my show Wednesday. Arshawn will be looking out for it. I might do it, Arshawn. I might not. Just depends. But if I do my show, it's going to be entitled "You're Still a Minstrel." So
what was that title again? Say that again.
You're Still a Minstrel.
Wow.
Listen, I hate to say it too, but people are gonna get pissed off. But look, we're a joke. Arshawn, you saw the video I told you to show, right? Look at that was the Japanese. It was a Japanese, and that was a real pilot for a real show. They actually aired that on television. So I'm just saying. And then you got this one lady with the savage libido of the black man. Really? Savage libido? The savage libido of it? Okay. But yeah, also, I do understand your lack of motivation, Arshawn. People aren't listening. They're just not. And like I said, I told Sir Hill, in a one-on-one conversation, I told Sir Hill, listen, man, I get what you're doing. It is admirable, but you might want to scale down your hopes and dreams. You might want to scale that shit down. It's messed up, but it's true. You can, again, this is the greatest accomplishment in social engineering in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
They have literally convinced people to vote against and support issues that are against their own interests in the information age.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a library. Everyone has a smartphone or a computer. So they give us smartphones for free. You can look this stuff up. They convince people to do things against their own interests in the information age. So I'm just saying, if that don't help,
yeah.
What do you want me to do? And then they look at me crazy. Like I was thinking about something like while you guys are talking. I mean, I was still in the Army. We come back from a deployment, right? We didn't know how long we were going to be back home. Turns out it was like 2 weeks, like 15 days or something like that. Was back and was wheels up somewhere else. And so we're at a restaurant, and this lady was like, "Hey, y'all look tired." The waitress, there's a couple waitresses there, and y'all look tired. What, the Army got y'all moving like that? Said, yeah, we're like, yeah. We just got back from a deployment. Deployment? What's that? We went overseas. We went to war. War? Yeah. What war? Meanwhile, the news is on the television right above us. Literally, I couldn't make it up. I can't make it up. I can't make this up. And it's about what's going on in the Middle East, right? And so she's like, "Oh, I thought that was just something you saw on TV." Really? Yeah. Another waitress came up and confirmed with her and said the same thing. "Oh, I just thought that was something you just see on TV." And we're like, "Really?" And so people ask me why I came into YouTube a year ago, just started going off on people. I'm like, this is why. Like when I hear people talk, I'm like, this is what it was for? This is what it was for? Really? This is what it was for. When I hear what people say, when I hear some of the crazy stuff that idiocy that comes out of people's mouths, that's what it's for. But people said I was wrong. You can't talk to people like that, Mandrell. Why? Then he comes Me Too. That whole thing kicks off in earnest. And then you got all other kind of crazy shit. I'm just like, man. I don't know. I think the whole world's going to hell in a ham sandwich pretty soon. I don't know. But I understand. I feel you, Arshawn. Or your lack of motivation. I feel people don't listen. People don't care. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't respect other people's opinions unless it agrees with theirs to the letter. Any deviation, they want to throw the whole thing out. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. Got the truth to come up there and he'll have an opposing people ask me, why are you sitting and listening to Cat Truth? He has an opinion. Last time I checked, America, you have freedom of speech. You don't have to agree with everything the dude says. I mean, but there's something there you're going to agree with. I guarantee it. Listen to what he got to say. You might not agree with anything he says, but let the man have his say. Wisdom can be found from anywhere, people. But we just want to talk about having a black community. We don't actually want to make one. We want to talk about building families. We don't actually want to make one. We want to talk about being better people. We don't actually want to do the work it takes to be better. Instead, we look at people who try to be better as weirdos. My bad. I don't know what kind of soapbox I got on, man. I really don't know. I know. No problem. I don't know what kind of soapbox I just got on, but I mean, it's just, hey, listen. Came from the heart.
Hey man, Drill, when you get married, man, just let us know, man. What's the timeline? You got what, 6 months, 12 months? Because you just put it out there. People want to make a better community, want to do this. That means you. So you have to go out there and find a woman. She might not be everything, but it's going to take hard work, just like tilling the soil, doing everything else in society to make it. Right? Our grandparents and our great-grandparents weren't in the best position to be married, to be having no wives. They would jump in the brooms as kids were separated. You, with all of this technology, all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge, all of these things to pass down to a child. When you get, I just want to know the wedding date. I'm holding you to the fire right now.
Okay. When I find one worthy, I'll let you know.
Talk about it.
Hey, I'm on the hunt. I know, man, but understand. Listen, bro, it's probably not going to be a black woman.
Well, I didn't say nothing
That's
about
the probability.
that. I just said move in the because your seed is still in it. I need you to do something. See, we like to talk. I'm gonna get on your soapbox for 5 seconds. We like to talk, but never put in work. And it's easy to reflect on the people that have less abilities than we do. I can look at the homeless person on the street and say, look, we ain't gonna never get better. Nah. When you gonna get up to the point where you need to be? See, it's easy to reflect on the person. I need you to get married. There's nothing stopping you from getting married but yourself. There's women out there.
There's a whole other person on the other end.
Don't give me that. You
that might be the issue.
You didn't conquer so much stuff in your life. We as people conquered so much. You come on here and brag, and I'm proud of you for everything you've done. This is not the hardest thing you're gonna be able to do. This is something that you holding on to, and you acting like it's the biggest wall in the world. Ooh. Step out there. If Chaotic can get a wife, I know you can. Ooh. No, I'm just messing with you, man. It's all love. That was just a joke, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good one. It was a good one.
It was a good jab. It was a good jab.
It's a good jab. To be able to take punches. As long as I've seen him on the internet, he's been able to take punches and roll with them.
Yeah, he gives as good as he takes too, man.
Yeah, you've been sitting quiet for a minute. I know we were both kind of out of the conversation for a minute, but go ahead and get your final thoughts in, my good man.
No, bye.
All right, now listen, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for coming by, man. It's probably gonna be my last stream for a minute, last stream period. I don't know. Right now, I don't even care. But appreciate y'all for being around, man. Oh, and just to clear up what Mandrella said, it's not that I lack motivation. It's not the motivation. We have the wrong audiences. We end up like echo chambers. We all end up speaking to people who already believe what we believe, which makes it ineffective other than just like catharsis. We're just venting, just ranting into the void. So, I mean, there's utility in like giving stuff, like getting stuff off your chest. But as far as actual change, it would take so long, man. It's just so hard. But anyway, that's my problem. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. I'll be where I be and I'll be at where I'm at. I hope y'all have a good one. Appreciate you, William. I will play because I was supposed to be doing Come On Man and forgot, and I did Critically Drinking intros, man. I'm gonna do Come On Ma'am. Everybody likes to Come On Ma'am better. So I'm gonna do the Come On Ma'am outro.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
I don't think women should know. Huh? I don't think women should know.
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
I learned a lot. And I learned a lot. Anyway, Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I learned so much. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot, you know. Come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What I have to do is I have to continue talking about the things. Come on, man. Oh, I'm in trouble. What are we, nuts? Dead. You know. Come on, man. Give me a little break here. Get a life. Taking cocaine or not? What do you think? Huh? Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Come on, man. Come on, man. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids. Come on, man. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record. I know a lot of weed smokers. Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test? I am, come on, man.
She's actually hurt.
No, I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there. Boy,
Okay.
gosh, I hope she's okay.
Your auntie's got a